G'day guys and welcome back to Casual Rage. Prepare to start the show, R2. This is where the fun begins. Yo, g'day guys and welcome to Casual Rage 225, where we casually rage out about the topics of the week. And my God, has it been a heavy week. Obviously didn't do the stream well, for me it's Thursday, guys. Didn't do the stream last Thursday. Because for you guys, it was Wednesday, and obviously we know what happened last Wednesday. It's going to be one of those moments I will never forget, and it's like everybody talks about, you know, the moments that you'll never forget where you were and everything. Man, I just actually thought about it. Like 9/11, I was, because of the time difference and everything, when that happened, I was in bed. I was actually watching TV, and all stations got interrupted for the footage. So I was sort of laying in bed. It was really early in the morning, going to sleep, obviously. And this one, I was waking up in the morning and was in bed and got completely shocked by it. I don't know how this stream's going to go today, guys. Honestly, there's been I know it's been a week. Never knew Charlie Kirk. Obviously watched a heap of his stuff. And I'll get into, what he sort of helped me with from a distance. And this is why I think it's touching a lot of people around the world and affecting a lot of people around the world, because you see the lies that are coming out and everything. Hang on. The reason why I didn't do last week was because I woke up to the news. I couldn't do a stream about Star Wars, and who could do that on that day? And I was in no condition or state with that, how shocked I was to have done a stream. And I also think, how rude would it be if I was to just do this stream a week later and not even talk about it? So again, I don't know how this stream's going to go. It's been a roller coaster ride of emotions. I've certainly had my moments of grief. But there's been obviously a lot of anger and everything. And then with them poking the bear and provoking even more, it's a lot to take. It's a lot to try and hold back. It's the good thing that I've seen is the restraint. And I think everybody in the back of their mind, when they're being poked and prodded by these fucking demons out there, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, Charlie if I'm doing this in Charlie's memory, it doesn't allow me to fight back with violence. That's stopping people. I swear it is. Because if I was in some of these situations, and we're going to go through a lot of stuff, if I was stuck in one of these situations, I don't know if I could hold back with how you feel. But then there's that thing in the back of your mind that just goes, in Charlie's memory, I can't do it. Because that's how a human feels. That's how a human acts. So we've got a lot to go through. We'll be going all the way back through the sort of the series of events over this last week. And it's going to be a bit of a mess because let me show you. Man, I got so much stuff that I literally can't tab it. You guys know me. Usually I've got tabs right across the top. That's if you're here. Usually I got a heap of tabs across the top here, but I've just got a bunch of stuff that I've bookmarked that is in, like, it is pretty messed up, right? So I'll just sort of go through, pick some stuff out that we'll talk about and everything. But look, I hope you guys are holding up. Obviously, it's not going to affect everybody the same. I think the one thing that it is revealing to everyone is good and evil. I don't even almost see it as left and right and Democrat and Republican or red and blue or anything like it. It's good and evil. It really is. If there's one silver lining that I have to take from this horrible incident, this demonic evil thing that we witnessed, it's that it is weeding out and revealing to us good and evil in 4K. We're seeing it before our very eyes. And, the whole freedom of speech and the cancel culture stuff, this is where we're at now, guys. And if there was one message that I could throw out there that I've like, if you've been paying attention, like the amount of Charlie Kirk videos, I'm sure you've seen the tributes, the horrific stuff that we're seeing, the demonic shit, all of it. We just got to keep speaking truth to error. I actually said at work, I was talking to my boss about it, and I'm like, man, it's no longer even truth to error. It's truth to chaos. Truth to evil. Anyway, how you all doing? I hope you're holding up and you're doing okay. We are going to get into it. Like I said, I don't know how this is going to go because there's going to be stuff that's going to make me furious. There's stuff that I've watched. There's stuff that I've just saved. I don't know whether or not watching some of it's going to be good or bad. But again, we're just going to go through a heap of stuff. Because also, too, like, there might be people in the chat. Like, I've only got a very small audience. And thank you guys for being here. There's always some lurkers. But I don't know who's here. I don't know. This person could just be coming in, still thinking that Charlie Kirk is some kind of racist, homophobic Nazi. Because that they just hear it and it's like, oh, I trust what this person said maybe about this thing over here in the past. Oh, he must be that. Because that's the only way that I can think or fathom that these people, they are just refusing, flat out choosing to be naive, basically, but refusing to watch Charlie Kirk's videos, refusing to get the context. The stoning of gay people or whatever, that whole narrative. It's like, have you actually watched the video? Or are you just hearing this person say that? And that's why everybody, when they come out and they go, oh, it's a horrible thing, I didn't agree with everything that he said. Like, I'm almost at a point where it's like, dude, nearly everything that I watch of Charlie's, it's like, I don't disagree with him. And I think that's another thing about the We Are Charlie chant thing now. It's like, it's not just We Are Charlie in regards to, it basically, what it means to me is that a lot of what Charlie was saying is what I believe. And I hope that's how everybody else sees it too. Not just a tribute chant like We Are Charlie. Like, literally, what a lot of the stuff that he said, I agree with. Why wouldn't I? It's based in truth. It's based in fact. There's kindness. There's compassion. And I know, like, Charlie, like, after watching a lot of Charlie's stuff this week, it obviously all comes from the biblical stuff, but isn't that just normal human decency and kindness? To be able to have emotion? Who can't have emotion? It has to be something evil within you to not be able to have compassion or emotion. Now, look, I agree with something that Ryan said throughout this week, is that I can disagree with someone, and if they were to pass or even die in a tragic incident like what we saw, I don't necessarily have to be super sad about it or anything. If it was a tragic incident and you've got to condemn like the violence in it or whatever the case may be, you've got to do that, because we don't do that. But you don't come out like, if you've got to, like, the good, it's almost like the good thing about seeing these people is that they're actually showing us who they are. They're showing us who they are. It's almost better, instead of them celebrating behind closed doors and not making videos and not revealing it to us, they're just covertly celebrating. It's almost like I'd rather see the evil right in front of my face. Now I can confront it. And that's what's happening. And that's why it's separate from the cancel culture stuff. Butcher, how you doing? I honestly haven't seen that. I've been so out of touch with anything else, to be honest with you, over the last week. And to be fair, I've also been trying to find, it's sort of had this spiritual awakening in me as well. But it's such a tough thing for me to talk about. I don't know if I really want to get into, like, I never talk about sort of personal stuff. And if I talk about my religious background and what I've gone through as a form of religion for me throughout my life, throughout my entire life, it gets very personal. It gets very personal. But no, I haven't seen that, and that's so stupid if he does. Like, Australia will collapse if he was to do that. That's ridiculous. I hope there was, and we're going to watch it, but I hope that when Albo goes out and visits Trump, because Trump just mentioned your leader's going to be coming out and seeing us soon, he puts him in his place. He's got to. He's got to. Albanese is destroying this country. Destroying this country. And I know that I've spoken to people that I'm friends with that, like, they don't want to talk about it. Or they refuse, they sort of ignore it. Ignorance is bliss. I've had people tell me, they've asked me, because I've sort of wanted to move away from Star Wars on this channel, or just isolated Star Wars. And, somebody asked me, like, what would you talk about? And I'm like, I don't know, current day events, politics. And they're like, you wouldn't be able to talk about politics. I don't think it's necessarily talking about politics. I think it's just how I'm feeling with what I'm seeing when something political happens. I don't think you need to be super, super intelligent to have to talk about politics or something like that. I'm a citizen too. This is my country. I pay taxes, and a lot of them. Anyway, I don't really want to talk about the Australia stuff right now. And it's the same ghost face with some of the Star Wars stuff that you were asking me about. And I think there was another, and Mike Hill. I'll get to those though in a second. Firafema, how you doing? Good to see you. I hope everyone's doing well as well. God bless you all. We got Darth Ghostface. I didn't see Sawyerism. I did see the M. Kenobi and the Kyle Katarn one. But it just goes to show, like, woke is evil. Woke is the devil. Woke is error over truth. So yeah. It's not surprising that the same people that we criticize about the entertainment and the culture war sort of thing are the same people that would or are celebrating on the grave of Charlie Kirk. It's very disgusting. It's very disgusting, and it's hard to confront. It's hard to confront without reacting, and without reacting in a really horrible way. So Mike Hill asked, do you believe we will get a Mandalorian Grogu teaser today? Once again, I have not been paying attention to anything. If they do, like, I did a video last night, and it sort of did okay as a video that after not being able to do a video for so long. And it is relevant to the times. It's obviously got to do with PlayStation and some of their employees celebrating Charlie Kirk's death, and the fact that they fired that person for their comments, and then the woke crowd are coming out, especially on Flash's comment, and like in support, and can't believe that person's been cancelled. This isn't cancel culture, guys. It's really not. I've got a really good video to help explain, because see, again, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. Now, I could sit here and maybe get through, and I feel like sometimes I can do pretty well in regards to explaining the point. But this is so messy. It's so messy that it's hard to align your thoughts enough to come to a conclusion in regards to what you're trying to explain. Sometimes. And maybe that's just me. We've got Brandon Day here. How you doing, Brandon Day? Good to see you. Arctic Warriors, how you doing? Geordie, Quinton. Let's see. Let me scroll down a little bit here. Denga Renegade, I think it is. How you doing? Saw one. Did that actually happen? How you doing, Saw? Is that true? Because that's a good thing. You see the effects of it too. This is the thing. They think we're stupid, and they're acting so stupid about this whole thing. So fucking stupid. They think we're stupid. They think that we haven't lived and heard what we've heard and seen what we've seen over the last decade. He's Hitler reborn. This guy's a Nazi. This guy's a Nazi. It then starts to justify in psychopaths' heads that we need to kill Nazis. We need to kill Hitler. We need to do this. And then that's where the justification comes from. And it's true within the culture. You think about that TMZ thing. Oh, man. The culture's so bad that they think that it's okay to openly come out and celebrate because they thought the entire office was going to come out and celebrate. Why? Because Charlie's a Nazi. We're going to go through the TMZ thing. All right, how you all doing? I hope you're all doing well. I'm sorry if you are new here. I am dyslexic as well. It doesn't help me with some chat sometimes. I just got to point that out because sometimes I'll be reading something and it's embarrassing, so I do apologize. But yeah, I see you. RIP Star Wars, America First. How you doing? I see obviously some new names here as well. And I appreciate you guys being here too, because like, yeah, we're well across the other side of the world here in Australia. I feel like the other countries are making moves. Kind of, I see things happening and I see it sort of trending or moving into the right direction, and Australia just keeps going in the wrong direction. Like it's quite insane to see, to be honest with you. And it's hard. It's really hard being here. And I'm going to show you some of the stuff here in Australia too as we go through this. Now, again, I don't talk politics. It's always been entertainment based or pop culture based or whatever. This is going to be an interesting one because I don't know how to format it. I've got so much stuff. Let's just start. Let's watch a couple of things and we'll talk about it. So I'll start with this anyway. This is a really good video just to explain to people why it's not cancel culture. Now, before we go through this, and there's obviously there's some great points out there. There's actually a couple of people that have actually made some really, really good points out there. This is on a real, like, moral good evil level that we're weeding out, like, those really evil people, basically, at the end of the day. The other side, like I mentioned it in my video last night, they'll see somebody that they don't like that has an opinion against their opinion, and then they'll dig into their past for the last 10 years or 20 years and see from a different time that they use the word faggot. And then that gives them justification to cancel them in today's day and age for saying words. Now, their side, fuck, good, evil comes out and kills somebody who was just trying to use words, debate, and all of that sort of thing. And then they come out and they actually celebrate that. That's on a whole nother level, ladies and gentlemen. That's on a whole nother level. You got a massive amount of teachers in America. I know this. I know that there isn't as much change happening here in Australia because of the effects of this, which is a shame, to be honest with you. But like, it's just not on the same level. It's just not. They've got to be removed from civil society because they're okay with the violence. They're okay with killing you. You know, that is what they've shown us. Anyway, let's give this a watch. Actually, I should probably put my headphones in. And I say us, like, this is why, like, I know it happened in America, and I know he's an American son, but this has become a worldwide culture issue. And that's why, like, I'd like to see it more as like a battle between good and evil, really. truth and lies at the end of the day. And you're seeing it right before your very eyes. It's crazy to see it, because you just don't think that any human being with any sort of compassion or empathy or anything like that. And then they got the people out there saying, "Oh, Charlie didn't think anything of empathy. Like, he thinks empathy is bullshit." Like, go and watch the clip, and he talks about how he'd rather use the word compassion. Jesus Christ. Have you looked at do you even know what a thesaurus is? Like, it's when you use another word to replace this, basically the same word. He just preferred to phrase it differently. Oh my God. Oh my God. The guy advocated for no empathy. Are you like these people? Get the context. And this is what, this is why I'm going to say it's all over the place. Earlier, I was saying to any of those people out there that are real normies to this news, and you hear somebody talk a slanderous, very, very slanderous, talking about him in very slanderous ways. You know what I'm saying? Jesus Christ. Watch the video, get the context, and then call those people out for their lie, basically. You'll be amazed if you are someone out there like this. You will be amazed that you're hearing the things that you're hearing from these evil scum of the earth people, and seeing the things that you're seeing from these evil scum of the earth people. It will almost make you cry when you watch Charlie. Because you watch it and you go, how can these people over here even think that? You could watch one video and be like, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. In fact, we're not gonna show this video first, because I want to get through some stuff, and then I would rather this guy explain the difference between sort of cancel culture and that. Man, I can't even remember half the shit that I've saved. So let's just watch some and see. I think this person is trying to call out the cancel culture from the right.
Do you get it now? Do you get why leftists have been pushing for equality and equal rights for people who are trans or LGBTQIA? Do you get it? It was to prevent things like this from happening. And a lot of us said, hey, the research shows that when you alienate people from society and you...
See, this is the thing. When you, like, what are you talking about? Honest to God, what are you talking about? You're literally killing people out of society, and then those people that are celebrating are getting the consequences of their actions. And then people want to argue that it's all about free speech. See, these people, because they were trans, they never had a voice in the past, and now they're being oppressed even more. What are you talking about? Get your head out of the fucking clouds and open your eyes. These people are so blind to they're being the cult of this has blinded them to what evil actually is.
And you basically berate them for who they are.
No, we're not berating them for who they are. In fact, actually, kind of, yes, we are berating them for who they are, because what they've become and who they are in their soul and in their heart isn't human. It's not human. If you have the same ideals as Charlie Kirk, and you've got to send your kids to school with a teacher that thinks like this, do you feel that your child is going to be safe, or at least safe from indoctrination? Is that a chicken or a dog? Good day, Big Froze. How you doing? Yes, I am. I said earlier, like, I don't know whether or not, like, I don't know how I'm going to be doing today. It's going to be up and down. I'm going to be angry. I'm going to be sad. But yeah.
They can turn violent, especially in a country with ample access to firearms.
How do you respond to this? Because this person here has their own eyes and their own ears. Now, you can't say that this person hasn't been able to see and hear what the people are saying when they're celebrating, and then understanding why they're being either removed from their jobs, basically cancelled. Like, I just don't get it.
This is exactly what we were trying to prevent.
Exactly what we were trying to prevent. You shot a person. Not you specifically, obviously, but your woke mind virus cult programming killed him. Oh, man. So, okay, you got to understand something. We're obviously going from basically the top of my bookmarks. So the most recent stuff is going to be at the top. And this is obviously the effect after everything that we've been seeing. Actually, let me specifically find one of these, because there is, let's see. Let me show you this really quickly. This is a great representation of exactly what I was talking about earlier. The difference between good and evil, evil revealing itself to us, and our willpower to be able to withstand it without getting too out of control. But this is a great representation of good and evil. I don't know if you guys saw this, but like, you know, people mourn in different ways. They want to show love in different ways. They want to pray in different ways. You know, and there was nothing bad about what this was. Let's see. If you believe in something, you need to have the courage to fight for those ideas, not run away from them, or try and silence. Or run away from them, or try and silence them. Sorry, that man. See what I'm saying? If you're new here, I'm retarded. And that was just a statement from Charlie Kirk. That was something that he said. An American flag, obviously. Charlie Kirk, 1993 to 2025, obviously. There's a little image of Charlie on the side here. Nice. Really nice. And people are mourning because Charlie had an effect. Look at what they did to it. Look at the creativity and the art and the love that went into making something like this. And then look at the evil, the disgusting, just look at it. We've got to, this is what I'm saying. We've got to confront this. And this is how it started. Actually, there's a better video. There's a better video than this, because this is when these retards, these evil demons, have already started mutilating it. But before that, this dumb fucking, oh man, whatever, that demon, that devil right there, was trying to like do it, and all the people were trying to stop her from doing it. And this is what I'm talking about in regards to these people's willpower, right? They've just created this really beautiful mural off a rock, whatever. And they're there mourning and everything, and these fucking demons come in to mutilate it. And did they attack them? No, they tried to stop them. Now, this is the thing. This is the crazy thing about it, is if somebody was to retaliate, and I wouldn't be able, personally, I would have charged and like speared that bitch while she's doing exactly what she's doing right there. You hit a woman, mate, look at what they are. These aren't human beings. They're demons. And I'm not condoning violence, but like, I don't think I could control myself. It was like when I saw Sorism at fucking Comic-Con. I couldn't help myself. I had to go over to her and basically speak truth to error. Now, yes, it wasn't like I didn't yell or anything like she said that I did, yelled in her face or anything like that, but I couldn't help myself. I had to go over and say to her, good job on trying to cancel YouTubers, loser. And that's all I said. I wouldn't be able to help myself in a situation like this. But you know what would actually stop me? Charlie. Charlie would have stopped me. Because in the back of my mind, I would be thinking, no, this is not how Charlie would have done it. This is not how Charlie would have gone about it. Oh, dude. Yeah. It's getting bad here, man. It's getting really, and honestly, in a way, I'm scared. But I've got to be brave. I keep sort of hearing that. I can't kneel to the devil. That's what the difference is. I truly feel like there has been a spiritual awakening in me. It's either we stay silent, we don't speak truth to error, and we kneel to, and we've been kneeling to these. We've been patient and considerate and changing our language and all of this kind of thing for you. We've been kneeling to the devil for long enough. We've been kneeling to the devil long enough. It's time to kneel to God again. Anyway, that's just to give you some context of what actually happened before this. We might not watch the full 2.5 minutes because it is hard to get through these things.
Just so you guys know, I'm fully religious too.
Just so you know, I'm fully religious too. You speak the words, but it's not in your heart. It's not in your heart. It's not in your soul. It doesn't exist around you. All I see when I look at you is demons and devils. That's all I see.
I do, but...
And all of these people that are there are just trying to mourn in their own way. And like I said, they continue to poke and prod and provoke and turn up the temperature. That's all they do. They speak about turning down the temperature, and then they continue with the rhetoric. It was the same thing with the Trump assassination attempt. We got to turn down the rhetoric. We got to cool our jets. Why? Because you committed an act of violence and you're scared of the retaliation? These people don't know what they could unleash here. They don't know what they could unleash. The thing is that the people that do know what the result of civil war or what could be unleashed here are the ones that are basically, the ball is now in their court. And they are, well, I would say, justified in any retaliation. But I still feel like the thing that's stopping them is Charlie. Not in complete retaliation, but the way that they retaliate.
Charlie Kirk is definitely not the morals I support or the religion I support, where you're just taught to love your neighbor, not hate your neighbor.
Respect.
See, again, the complete naivety of this. Like, it's almost, you know what the exorcism of the brainwashing is now? You know how we exercise the brainwashing out of people? And this would be inhumane and you wouldn't do it. But you know how you do it? And a good case study. You know what a good case study would be? Is actually the shooter. Would actually be the shooter. You put him in a locked cell, isolated cell by himself, unable to harm himself or anything like that. And until the day of his death, he has to watch Charlie Kirk videos, debates, everything that Charlie Kirk has done on repeat. And at first, he'll be bouncing off the walls going, no, I'm not listening to it. I'm not listening to it. I'm not doing it. I'm not paying attention. And they'll scream over the top, exactly how they do it when you do try and debate them and you're beating them and they just start filibustering. It's the same thing, right? But eventually, the chaoticness and the demon that's inside him will start to get tired and not be able to react like that anymore, and you continue playing it. You know what's really funny? I just described what the mainstream media do with calling people Hitler and Nazis and everything. You drill it in for long enough, and people start to believe it to the point where they act on that, right? It would be the same thing if you were to put this guy in a padded cell, right, and just play Charlie Kirk for the rest of his known life. You know what might happen when he is being either executed or whatever the case may be? You know, when they give them their final words? Could you imagine what the deprogramming of the Nazi woke mind virus cult, or calling out Nazi woke mind virus cult, could you imagine?
Yeah, love your neighbor. So
Okay.
If you disagree,
So this is loving your neighbor.
I'm not going to love a man who...
The hard thing is Charlie has also taught us that we need to pray for these people. That's hard to do. It really is.
doesn't even...
So you're not loving your neighbor. You're not loving your neighbor.
You're right, I'm not judging. It is not my right to judge. But it is also not your right to judge either.
No, we're here.
Like, I'd just be saying, oh man, the thing is that they're so arrogant, like in the way that she's speaking. She truly believes that she's not doing anything wrong here. She like, does she have, she doesn't have any empathy for Charlie. Okay, fine. You don't have any empathy for Charlie, but you've just shown that you have no empathy for any of these other people that live in the same town, city, go to the same schools as your kids, or like these people. Like, this is where it separates from cancel culture. Zero self-awareness.
We're protecting somebody. We're not here judging.
And we're not the ones.
If we were judging, we would be taking our paint can and dumping it on you, but we're not. Are we?
Oh, listen to it. if we were judging you, we'd be coming here with our paint and dumping it on you. They're actually saying that out loud. Like, the problem with your logic there, lady, is that you are essentially disrespecting them because they are Charlie. They believe Charlie's values. They believe in what Charlie stood for. So you may as well tip that tin of paint on me if you're going to do this to that. That is where they just they don't think through anything. And that's why when you do have those debates and they do start filibustering and stuff, it's because they've got nothing to stand on. They don't understand. They don't get it. Demogenai, I did see you pop up in the chat earlier, but I completely missed the super. I didn't even see it. I'm sorry. It's the only one that I've gotten too. They'll be quick to say Charlie was a bad guy. Dude, from the moment he died. And that's the sad thing. And that's the really sad thing. Watch the TMZ stuff. TMZ stuff, it's disgusting. We will get to that. Hopefully we'll get to that. Thank you, Demogen. I appreciate it.
All this
And good to see you.
It will, hopefully. If not, it's a price I gotta pay.
Oh, the price that you're going to pay is going to be an eternity in hell. Shame, Rhino.
Yeah, I am sorry. I did not mean to step on any of the flags. I will admit that. I am sorry. I don't think I did step on those. I'm
really sorry. Like, oh, dude. You got no idea. You got no idea. All right, I can't watch anymore, to be honest, of that one. But like I said, this is just a great representation of the good and evil that is being fought right now. And I got to take a silver lining out of this. I've got to take, like, don't get me wrong, there's been a lot of good, there's been a lot of positivity, there's been a lot of prayer, there's been a lot of good stuff, good energy that's gone out from this. But the underlying extra piece of goodness that we're being able to get from this is it's exposing and revealing the devil to us right before our eyes. And we're able to deal with it easier because they are so overtly expressing it. Like this.
He lives as he dies, promoting violence. Report all you want. Look at these freaks, dude.
Well, no, look at this shit. Check it out. Look at this shit.
Man, you're overreacting bullshit.
Yeah, 9-point
Fuck Charlie Kirk. Fuck Charlie Kirk. Fuck.
It's hard to watch. It really is. But once again, I do feel like, and everybody's obviously covering a lot of different stuff. You see a lot of different videos out there, but we need to confront it as hard as sometimes it is. Psychos, right? Wow. No empathy, no compassion, no feeling whatsoever. The only feeling that they feel ever is anger and hatred. They're like the two emotions that they feel. That's it. And you see it so much. You see it so much.
Charlie Kirk got murdered,
No,
right?
I don't. I care about murdering. You know that.
Really?
You know
Okay,
it's.
so did
you
you
know
ever
it's
stand
illegal?
here for Palestine? Did you ever stand here for Gaza? Did you ever?
I don't know what's going on over there, so I'm not going to just blindly
Also,
pick a side.
great
like you.
answer.
You don't fucking care.
I don't know
You
what's-
only care about
So-
people you care about.
You don't.
That's right. It's so true. Isn't that amazing that she actually came up with a logical statement in her absolute disastrous brain? You only care about the people that you care about. Yeah. Correct. Where's the lie? I care about the people I care about. That extends to my fellow Australians. I care about my country. I care about the people in my country. I care about my family. I care about my friends. I care about myself. So yes, 100%, lady. I only care about the things that I care about. Wow, how profound.
Know anything about me.
Obviously, you care about what you care about.
I care about someone getting
Obviously.
murdered for their freedom of speech. It's a threat to democracy.
Yes, it's sad, but people get murdered with guns
Okay, so
every
then-
day.
so why are you-
I
so
don't know
why do
why
you
you're
care?
standing on
So
the fucking street.
it bothers you that
Literally-
much?
Yes, because you're literally like
Is my freedom of
praising. You're
speech?
praising somebody. You are praising somebody
It bothers you?
that literally said if his 10-year-old daughter was
He didn't
raped-
say that.
Yes,
He
he,
didn't
did.
say
It's
that.
on camera.
Oh my gosh, you
your
guys
only
are a
response,
joke.
all you Republicans, your only response.
All you Republicans.
Yes, your
Okay.
only response is, oh no, he didn't say
So
that.
you think Charlie Kirk deserved to get
I
murdered?
never said that.
So
See
then-
how you guys twist people's words?
Oh. This is the thing. They are so incapable of actually having an adult conversation. It is honestly like you're talking to a child. It really is like you're talking to the child. It's the whataboutisms and there's another good video out there. We don't need to watch the rest of this. Let me find this to show you how they then try and spin it to either put you off your conversation and what you want to say, or it's to try and make it to try and put you in the wrong. Man, where is it? Come on. I got so much, man. Here. Now, this went viral, so you've probably seen it. And I don't know, I am going to play the whole thing on this because it is great. I got to say, like, the way he expressed this, yeah. So, Gutfeld, you guys know Gutfeld, don't you? It's Greg, right? Is it Greg Gutfeld? Am I getting that right? Anyway, from Fox News. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up, and we'll get to the point, is we'll get to it. When I saw this, I truly felt it. Like, it's kind of like everybody that's standing up for what's right now feels exactly this.
Yes, we don't need it. What is interesting here is why is only this happening on the left and not the right? That's all we need to know.
What about
There's
Vance
absolutely no cognitive...
What about Melissa Hortman that we just
okay, you want to talk about Melissa Hortman?
So this is the whataboutism stuff to deflect again, which I'm glad he shuts down so well.
Did you know her name before it happened? None of us did. None of us were spending every single day talking about Mrs. Hortman. I never heard of her until after she died.
She doesn't matter?
Don't play that bullshit with me.
That's what they do. They try and make a point. That point gets completely like, okay, you want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. This is what I'm saying. And then they try and spin it back at you. And again, I'm glad he shuts it down so well here.
Until after she died.
She doesn't matter?
Don't play that bullshit with me. You know what I'm saying is there was no...
So she doesn't matter? She says it like everybody else in the studio is going to be outraged. But this is the thing. Their cognitive ability isn't quite up to the same scratch as everybody else. Everybody else in that studio and sitting at that table actually understood where he was going with the point of saying, did you hear about her before she was killed? Did you know who she was before she got killed? And she was saying, and this is why she can be so openly about it, and say, oh, so what, she doesn't matter?
Don't play that bullshit with me. You know what I'm saying is there was no demonization, amplification about that woman before she died.
Basically, she wasn't called a Nazi for the last 10 years on mainstream media and Jimmy Kimmel and all of these things, or being allied with Hitler Reborn or anything like that. And the thing is that you got to think that these people are smart enough to understand what he was saying in the first place. But no, they need to spin it because of exactly what he says next. If they were to actually open their eyes and actually bring truth into their world, they would realize that they are the horrible demons that they are. Cam raid? Is that Camelot raiding me? If that's what's just happened, dude, thank you. Bless you, my friend. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Whoa. I think this is going to officially be the biggest casual rage I've ever done. 225th show. Thank you, everyone. And I'm sorry, I'm a little bit all over the place with this. I know it's been a week, but this, I got to say, this whole event has had a massive, profound effect on me over the other side of the world. So if anybody's curious about how far Charlie Kirk's reach actually got, look at what happened in Britain. But don't discount some of the smaller countries in the world. Like Australia, we're fucked up right now. We really are here in Australia. But I tell you what, this incident has woken a lot of people up, and a lot more people are now more courageous than ever to be able to speak truth to error. Whoa, I did not mean that to rhyme. So anyway, how you all doing? Thank you. Welcome in. Please do subscribe, smash the like button, all of that good shit. All right, let's continue. So yes, we're going through Gutfeld. Being that everybody just came in, I did see you, Camelot, and thank you again, brother. God bless you, my friend. I appreciate it. Let's just go back to the beginning because I don't know when that came in, and we've probably got more people here now than we had just on our own. So thank you. Oh, dude. Melbourne's the worst. Melbourne is the worst. Anyway, all right, here we go.
Yes, we don't need it. What is interesting here is why is only this happening on the left and not the right? That's all we need to know. There's absolutely no cognitive...
What about Melissa Hortman?
The whataboutisms. Here we go.
Did you know her name before it happened? None of us did. None of us were spending every single day talking about Mrs. Hortman. I never heard of her until after she died.
She doesn't matter?
So she doesn't matter? And like I was sort of saying before the raid came in, surely she's smart enough, just like everybody else in that room, to actually understand what he was saying. There was no fucking basically smear campaign for this person. Whereas Charlie, especially being allied, you could say, with Trump, right, has basically been called all of these things: Nazi, Hitler, like, you know, fascist, sexist, misogynistic, all the buzzwords under the sun, moon, and stars for the last 10 years. And this is what it culminates to. And you've got the audacity to spin your own brain into a frenzy to try and come up with this, oh, so she doesn't matter? Evil is exposing itself to us in real time. And again, I'll keep saying it. It's the underlying silver lining of this tragedy is that now it's not just like hidden or they're being really covert about it. They are openly showing us how evil, vile, and disgusting they are. And because it's right in front of us, and that's why we need to confront it, but because it's right in front of us, gives us the wherewithal to now be able to deal with it. In a realm of humans and humanity and people with souls and a heart and empathy and compassion, not just hatred and anger, because that's all. You try to have a conversation, they filibuster, talk over the top of you, yell over the top of you. You see Destiny. You see Destiny do it. We're going to talk about fucking that retard. Disgusting behavior. And this is just as disgusting. I know at the end of this clip, I know most of you probably would have seen it, but at the end of this clip, he tries to sort of apologize to her. And that's the crazy thing. He's got so much empathy that even after this rant and like almost pointing the finger at her, and I know he then says, no, them, but why do you have to come in and parrot it? It technically is her. He still has empathy enough to say, okay, with my rant, I shook you. And you can see the moment she gets shaken, right? And he apologizes for it. Jesus, she can't apologize for saying, oh, so she doesn't matter, does she? Or whatever the fuck she just said.
Talking about Mrs. Hortman, I never heard of her until after she died.
Doesn't matter?
Don't play that bullshit with me. You know what I'm saying is there was no demonization, amplification about that woman before she died. It was a specific crime against her.
Sorry, I didn't mean to click there. She was never once called a Nazi by the mainstream media or anyone. Not once.
By somebody who knew her. The same. Now you could bring up Josh Shapiro, but then you will not bring up, for example, that was a pro-Palestine person.
And he makes a good point in regards to saying that, right? These people aren't journalists. Because a journalist does it without any bias, despite if they are biased in it. And that's what does make it hard, obviously, for them, because they are so biased. But any form of journalism needs to be done from a neutral position. It has to be. It has to be delivered to the people from a neutral position so that they can make their own mind and decision up on what is good or bad in that situation. But no, we haven't had that. It's been constant brainwashing, basically, for the last decade. At least. And a lot of those people that do watch maybe something like CNN or MSNBC or any of those other fucking retarded ones out there probably wouldn't come to Fox all that often. Wouldn't get the other side of the coin. You know what's crazy? I don't really watch these things, but I still see both sides. When you choose to, when it's almost a conscious choice to be naive, that's on you. But that doesn't mean that we stop telling you how wrong you are while trying to show you the truth.
So don't use your, what about this? The fact of the matter is the both sides argument not only doesn't fly.
Fuck off with that shit. We don't.
We don't care about your both sides argument. That shit is dead.
Because it doesn't exist.
There is no cognitive dissonance on our side. On your side, your beliefs do not match reality. So you're coming up with these rationalizations.
That this is speaking truth to error. This is truth.
It's like, what about this? Or what about that? We're not doing that because we saw it happen. We saw a young, bright man assassinated, and we know who did it. We are not coming up with rationalizations. We are calm, we are honest, and we are resolute. We're not defensive. And I understand the defensiveness. I understand why people are saying, what about this? And what about this? Because if you have to face the underlying facts of this, your life is going to fall apart.
But they also need to do the both sides thing and cool the temperature and cool your jets and all of those other things. It's because they're actually scared too. because they've lit the pilot light, and at any second we could have ignition. At any second. And the crazy thing is that the ones that would be justified in the retaliation are the ones being the most composed throughout all of this. We saw people trying to stop that girl trying to pour the paint over that rock that they beautifully artistically made, and they turned it like I'll show it to you really quickly. Oh man, I got to scroll through so much stuff. Let's finish this. I know that there's a lot of people, but basically, it's a good representation of showing good and evil right before your very eyes. Really good representation of it.
Because you're going to realize you're not the good guys. If you sat around and you defended the mutilation of children, you're not the good guys. If you sat 600, 700 cases of harassment against Republicans, and you said, but what about this? What about this? And then you see this murder after calling somebody a fascist, you realize maybe I'm not the good guy. That is a hell of a realization to deal with.
Yep.
So therefore,
that's why they can't confront themselves. They can't confront these other people out there that are getting fired and everything. They can't confront the consequences of their own actions. They can't. As soon as they open their eyes and open their ears and start to actually see the truth, if one of those were to see the truth, they would crumble. They would crumble. And if they had a soul or had a heart, they would actually probably break down going, what have I done? I contributed to this.
Therefore, you have to grasp at rationalizations. You don't have to do that, Jessica. They do. I don't believe you're part of that group.
And again, when he says that, I don't believe you're part of that group. Hang on, let me just finish this, actually.
But why the hell do you have to mimic and echo that crap to us?
So he says to her that he doesn't believe that that's her saying that. That's those people out there saying that. But she comes into this show and parrots the same bullshit that's being said out there to them. When they're not going to stand for this bullshit anymore. I'm sorry, Gutfeld, I disagree with you. That is her. That is her. See, you were saying that out of some form of compassion. You were saying that out of some form of compassion for that Jessica chick. But you know how you speak truth to that? You say you need to stop doing that. I know he sort of basically did say that, but you are becoming one of them by parroting it. It's what the cult does. It's the parroting of the narrative, the Nazi narrative. It's the parroting of the Hitler narrative. They get no context. They just hear what they want to hear. They hear what their favorite politician has to say, because do you ever hear the politicians on the right saying, oh, this person's a threat to democracy. This person's well, to be honest with you, this is now becoming like that. Because what we're seeing, isn't it what we saw with the assassination of Charlie, was exactly that. They're the fascists. And they want to say, oh, all of these people that are being fired from their jobs, they've got a freedom of speech. Yes, you're 100% correct. You're 100% right. They are free to be demons and show us how evil they are with their freedom of speech. And we are allowed to deal with it in the way a proper moral civilization should deal with devils and evil. My God.
A patsy. That guy was a patsy.
100%.
He was under the hypnotic spell of a direct-to-consumer nihilism, the trans cult, and you know that. If you can decide that biology is false, you can agree that murder is okay, and that humanity is expendable. How you cannot see that alone and see that for what the evil it is without having to attach all of these other things is beyond me.
It's beyond me
I just
too.
want to be clear. I want to let people speak. I in no way intended at all to minimize what happened to Charlie. I was horrified by it. I have not been on the five
But the
since
two
then.
sides argument, well, it's like pig
all I
Latin to a
requested-
duck.
No,
It is.
all that I was saying is could we have all of the information before you just say they did this? Because that is a broad brush to paint.
I love that look that he gives down the camera there. Because it's like almost, are you serious? It paints it with a broad brush. We are seeing it with our own eyes and all the information that we're getting. And if you want to go down conspiracy rabbit holes, go down conspiracy rabbit holes. No one's going to stop you. I think this is very, very easy to see the series of events that have basically taken place over years now, that have culminated to this. We don't need exactly what Gutfeld said. We don't need any more information. We don't. We know what we've seen. We know what we've heard. And we know why this has happened. Now, yeah, they might need to prove this in a court of law so that people will see it. But you know, the crazy thing about that is that they still won't. The left still won't accept it. They just won't accept it. Just like they didn't accept it for Amber Heard, right? Or any of these other things that have been revealed to be like, you guys were wrong, we were right. And they still to this day say, you know, that Johnny Depp is a woman beater and all of this kind of stuff. Still to this day, there's evidence. There's so much. It was proven in a court of law that he wasn't that as bad as what she said he was. But you still like if you can't actually get facts and information, and you're the people out there that parrot the whole thing of follow the science during the fucking COVID stuff and everything, right? It's evil. Everything that we've seen with it, they're the fascists. They're the fascists. My God. Just get back a little bit here.
All of the information before you just say they did this, because that is a broad brush to paint with this. And this kid
Let's
does
have
seem...
a conversation.
No,
Charlie had a conversation. He got shot. Look, I'm sorry.
See, straight away there, he has enough compassion to see that by throwing that in her face, which she deserved, mind you, that she rattled her. She got shook from it. And straight away, he's got enough compassion to be able to go, look, I'm sorry, but like you're speaking, basically at the end of the day, we'll listen to it. You're speaking bullshit and we're not having it anymore. So basically shut the fuck up if you're not going to contribute proper fucking truth and reality to the conversation.
Jessica, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You weren't here for a week. You came in here and it's cold. And I'm sorry, but this is a story that is immune to news cycles. It's immune to rationalizations. It's immune to bias. This thing is with us for good. And we all have to deal with that. So that means we can't live by the same arguments that you might be reading about relativism among the media. We can't deal with those stories. It doesn't matter. The media is dead to us on this story. They built this thing up. We're dealing with it. We're going to act. We don't care what the whataboutism is anymore. That 100%. Shit's dead. Sorry. For the swearing as well. I apologize to the American public. I'm going to shut up for the rest of the...
All right, that's that. Now, that's actually really good because we're going to go into, well, a bit of a hot topic that is sort of just surfaced in itself. And that is, where is it? Is that the whole thing? I don't think that's the whole thing. Man, some of these clips and everything, I've actually saved. I've actually saved multiple times because some are longer than others as well. We will get to Destiny. Actually, we might talk to that and about Hassan. We might get to that after this. I just want to bring this up. Where the fuck is All right, here it is. So, if you didn't hear, of course, Jimmy Kimmel and his late night show or whatever has actually been sort of cancelled indefinitely at the moment, which doesn't mean that he can't come back. But based on everything that's happened and everything that's happening, I don't see it coming back. And why would they? It gives them a good out. You were wasting money anyway. But the lies, like this is the thing that I almost can't believe is that it happened a week ago, basically a week ago today. And we've got, even me, over the other side of the world, actually have seen the facts, actually seen the evidence. And this is what he has to say.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level,
it's hard to listen to, I know. If you're getting angry in the chat, I understand completely. If you've already seen it, like maybe when the first time you saw it, you got angry, you might become desensitized to it a little bit by now. Like even with everything that's happened, like I find that some of them, I'm watching some of these videos of people celebrating or, you know, destroying visuals or whatever. And I just look at it and go, okay. Like I understand now.
can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks. They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Now, obviously, he does go on to joke, and we'll listen to his response in a second. I just want to throw this little defense out there. It's probably hard for Trump. It's probably hard for a lot of them at the moment. They would still be grieving. If I'm still feeling the effects of it, I can guarantee you they are. And, you know, maybe, yes, he said, I'm doing okay. You know, we're doing this over here. He's basically, he can't, like, honestly, always, like, show, he can't just stand there and cry. Is that what you wanted from him? Like at some point, and the president's got a lot to do, a lot of responsibilities, there's other things still happening. To me, he was just trying to point out some good stuff that's happening in a dark time. And deflect because maybe he didn't want to talk about it. Did you ever think about that? You got no empathy for Hitler reborn, do you? How could you possibly?
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish. Okay.
And this is how a 4-year-old thinks, ladies and gentlemen, right before your very eyes. So he's now being cancelled. He's now being cancelled. Or the show's being cancelled. It is. It's disgusting. But good. Consequences for your actions. Like, that is blatant lies, though. That is blatant lies. He should know the information. He should know the information. It's everywhere. You can't hide from it. And it's interesting, actually, because if I can find it, I'm hoping it's somewhere close here. It has to be. Yep. Watch this in response to the cancellation of Jimmy Kimmel. Good old Don Lemon.
Jimmy Kimmel.
That's too loud. We can't listen to his voice that loud.
Jimmy Kimmel. They're trying to cancel Jimmy Kimmel. I'm sure you've heard the news by now. But I've been going through the internet looking for the clips to see what they're mad or upset about, and I can't find it.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is being selectively naive. Because you could do all you need to do is type in, you could almost type in just Jimmy. You wouldn't even have to type in Kimmel and you'd fucking find it. And this is where they're now going with this. This is now the narrative that they're pushing with this. Oh, they were always against cancel culture. And look, it's canceling everyone. They're exposing people to their employers and blah, blah, blah. Like, dude, there's a big difference between these two things. Between the way that you guys canceled people, digging into the past, going back, 20, 30 years to an entire different time to see that they used the N-word or, they said faggot or something. Oh, cancel this person now, right now. Look, they're a fucking homophobe because they used the word faggot back in 1993. Get the fuck out of here.
These are I can't find it. The one that they have on there, I don't see where that's even.
Oh, so you've seen the video, but you don't see what's wrong with that. Oh, I see. So you're the devil as well. Huh. Very good. It's very easy to see where people's morals actually lie based on their reactions to some of these things.
Controversial. The guy's a comedian. This is the same.
That wasn't funny. Nothing that he said in that entire thing was actually funny. In fact, majority of what he said in that was an actual blatant lie. Not the truth at all. When comedians do something and they, come up with a joke or something, it's usually embedded in truth. They're usually talking about a thing or a certain political aspect of something that's happening in the world today or whatever the case may be, but they're using what's actually happening, the real world, reality. Man, sometimes I really do feel like Thanos came in and fucking used the reality stone to just change the world around us.
Same party, the same group of people who complained about everything is too woke. Comedians can't say anything anymore.
They can't.
They're killing comedy. The folks who are complaining about killing comedy are killing comedy. The folks who are complaining about canceling.
He's so dumb. I can only take a very small amount. A very small amount. He's just retarded. He's choosing to be naive. Choosing to be naive. And yes, that wasn't comedy. All right, seeing as we've actually gone through some of that, we're just going to play this video because once again, as I said earlier, this actually does a good job of explaining the difference here. And I think we all know what the difference is, but sometimes it can be hard to articulate because, yes, we are canceling these people. We don't want these people in civil society because that's not what humanity represents. That's not what reality represents, and that's not what truth represents. So they're getting the consequences of their actions. But the thing is that the way that they've done cancel culture, the way that they did cancel culture, well, sometimes it was built on we mentioned it earlier, the Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing. Fucking, he was cancelled for doing nothing. Believe all women. That was the left. They cancelled a man and destroyed his world and destroyed his job and his ability to make money and all of the things that you guys are now complaining about because of a lie. We see tragedy, we see horror right in front of our face, and then we see the demons and the devils celebrating that hatred. And what, we're just supposed to sit back and let that fester in our society? Really? There's a big difference in those two fucking things, I'm telling you. But once again, like I said, it can be sometimes hard to articulate. I think I did okay there, but let's just watch this.
As we're watching people getting fired one after the other for celebrating Charlie Kirk's death, it's really interesting seeing the debate around cancel culture unfolding. Because it's a subject I've been very vocal about over the last few years. As somebody who supports free speech and opposes authoritarianism, I've never believed in cancel culture. I've been strongly opposed to people here in the UK getting imprisoned for tweets. And I don't believe anyone should lose their livelihood for offending others with minor microaggressions, or hurty words as we call them here in the UK. But the justification that proponents of cancel culture always repeated was that words have consequences. And they always stood by this when the ball was in their court.
100%. 100%. Words have consequences. Didn't they start to call it consequence culture? Or was that sort of like, the way the culture and society has moved is so fast, and everything, you know, I mean, just in 10 years, they were able to basically make MAGA and Nazi the same word.
As it has been for the last decade at least. But now that we're seeing some of these same people being punished for expressing their opinions about the assassination of a public figure for his political beliefs, they're crying foul. Except It's not quite the same, is it?
No.
Because this time it's about public safety. Nobody wants to think that their children are being educated by somebody who supports assassination. This isn't cancel culture, because we're not talking about hurty words. We're talking about domestic terrorism and fascism. If you are genuinely concerned about the rise in authoritarianism, how can you celebrate unaliving someone for their views? And I've seen so many crazy people saying that he deserved it because he was this, that, or the other. Well, the people who disagree with your views could call you this, that, or the other as well. But surely wishing death or even harm to people who are different from you is what you oppose. And to make matters,
it's completely different. And they want to talk about freedom of speech in this too. We will finish this in just a second. But they want to talk about freedom of speech in this as well. Where was, who am I thinking of? Mel Gibson. What did they cancel Mel Gibson for? I honestly can't even fucking remember, to be honest. But was that for words? Was that for something that he did or said like 20 years ago? Sugar tits. Was that what he said? Wow. Oh, the N-word and Jew rant. Freedom of speech. You cancelled him. Cancelled him, and his words weren't even violent. Words aren't violence. And you go, it just made me think of like even just the saying, silence is violence. Like, it's just so twisted. It's just so fucking twisted, man.
Worse. So many of the allegations against...
But this is the thing. I believe that these people do have a freedom of speech to show us how evil and demonic and just disgusting they are. And then society will deal with them.
Charlie Kirk, with regard to racism and homophobia and transphobia, completely made up.
Yep.
Based on things that he said that were misquoted or taken out of context to the point that their meaning was completely subverted. On my Instagram,
he just talks about his Instagram and how he's actually gone through and debunked some of those. I don't exactly know what his handle is, but obviously very distinct look, so you'll be able to find him quite easily, I would say, if you wanted to. But yeah, really good. And I think most normal, sane people think the same about this in the guise of cancel culture? You know, and how we feel about the cancellation of these people because of their rhetoric, because of what they're saying. Let me see. Let's get rid of Don Lemon there. I got so many bookmarked things. I think this is another. I can't remember this guy's name. He's sometimes on the 5 as well, but he's from Fox News. He's one of their main anchors, if not their main anchor. He's the one that I see mostly, actually. And I think this is another video just in regards to the difference between sort of their cancel culture and what's happening right now.
It's not illegal to say Charlie deserved to die, and you're glad he did. They have a right to say that.
Yep.
But we have a right to fire you.
Yep.
You can't walk into the office and say you're into homicide. You can't work at CNN and tweet, I'm comfortable with cold-blooded murder. More people need to be killed. Speech is free, but you're not free from the consequences. If you're glad Charlie's dead and thought he had it coming, I'm supposed to sit next to you in the break room?
Yeah.
You're going to teach my kid at school or serve in government? And I'm supposed to just say,
What would happen? It just made me think there for a second. You're on a plane. It's always on a plane, isn't it? You're on a plane, and the captain over the radio gives his announcement in regards to, you know, we're taxiing, we're going to be taking off shortly, whatever the case may be. And at the end of that announcement, he says, God bless you. And God bless Charlie Kirk and his family. And you have one of these crazy radicals fucking on that plane. Do you really want them sitting next to you? Imagine even just somebody, you know, saying something against, let's just use the same situation, saying something, you're sitting there and you're sitting next to somebody who is one of these crazy people, and you end up having an emotional reaction to what the captain is saying. Fuck, I wouldn't even feel safe in that situation. And I'm a nobody.
free speech. You're advertising that you're a maniac and that you have no decency, compassion, or humanity, that you're indifferent to death. And not just indifferent, you're sickly gleeful.
Yeah.
That makes you a threat. That makes you dangerous. It makes you a beast. And what do we do with beasts? We leave them out in the wild. We have to be very careful about the kind of people we associate with. They aren't entitled to work for us. And these people, sadly, are everywhere. This is more than just a disagreement over the border or crime or politics.
Yep.
We're talking about...
That's the thing. They think that this is just politics. And it's crazy to think that this is how it should go down. Such fascist ideals and ways of going about it. And it's just crazy that they point the finger the other way. It's quite... Man.
Murder. Would CNN be okay if their producer said, that girl that got raped, she had it coming?
Yeah.
Of course not.
What a great point.
Or the Ukrainian refugee stabbed to death on a train, Irina, deserved to die.
What a great point.
Those floods in Texas, that's...
And never forget Irina either, people. I mean, there's a lot of victims of what's been going on. But there's some that really stand out, and that horrible.
Karma. Hope you can swim. Never. And we're not saying these people should be put in prison. We're saying they're not walking into my office. I'm not letting them hang around my family. I don't want to be anywhere near them.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right. Who would want to be around somebody that's that psychotic? And people are, and the lines are being drawn in the sand. I know, you know, you've seen a few people out there that are, you know, seeing their friends on Facebook, sort of celebrating this, you know, saying how good of a thing it is, all of that. And they're having to break up with their friends. because the woke mind virus has infected so far that it's even gotten to normies. There are people out there that have never watched 1 second of Charlie. I know it's hard to believe. There's a lot of content out there. But they haven't seen 1 second of Charlie that are parroting the same bullshit narratives and lies. It's actually quite funny that I'm wearing this t-shirt. The narrative's fucked, ladies and gentlemen. The narrative's fucked. You can get this in my merch store. I don't even know if it's still set up. No one's bought any t-shirts or anything off there for a while. The link's in the description if you're interested. But yes, the narrative is fucked. This is my clown. I got the wig still and I got the glasses still. I should do this on Flashcast maybe one time soon. The narrative's fucked. But yeah. Let's see. What else do we have? Like I said, I've just been bookmarking a heap of stuff. So it's all over the place. It's so messy. And if I was to actually like tab it out, I'd have 150 tabs. So I can't. So we're just sort of scrolling through and I'm trying to find some stuff. This is something that I brought up earlier before Camelot's raid. And thank you again, Camelot. I really appreciate it. This is just really a good representation of just the good and evil that we're seeing and that's exposing itself right before our very eyes. You know, and I'll just quickly touch on this because I did speak about it earlier, but this just love, time, effort, you know, people mourning, putting a nice Charlie quote on there, little mural of Charlie on the side, you know, wrap the rock in the American flag. Beautiful. And then, of course, this happens. Like, you just see it. Good, evil. Good, evil. It's quite telling. And like I said, it's the silver lining. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep parroting it. It's the silver lining that I've got to take from this tragedy is that it revealed to us good and evil. It separated good and evil plainly to see. Plainly to see. Get rid of some of these bookmarks because there's so many and I keep scrolling past them. We'll get to that in a second. There was something. Where is it? God, I got so many things bookmarked. Sorry, guys. Give me a sec here. Man, why can't I find it? Because there's so much crap. Far out. Maybe I didn't bookmark it. Maybe this is the other thing too, is there'll be stuff that I retweeted through the week that I think that I bookmarked that I didn't. Maybe we should go through my Twitter as well. Sorry, guys. I want to show you something because this is kind of hilarious to me because I remember seeing this clip when not long after it sort of happened. And you guys know Vinny, Vincent, he's from PPD podcast. Good dude, patriot, fantastic. So I don't know if you remember this, but just watch this. And this is how intolerant, let's be real, the left actually are. And how willing they are to have conversation, have discourse. How, like I said earlier, they continue to sort of filibuster over the top of you to just shout you down so that you can't make your correct, true, factual point, right? So this is just a really good example of that. Just shown, this is again something from a while back.
Right-wing extremists are into that gender binary, which is very oppressive.
So I'm just gonna, just really fast, I'm not a right-wing extremist. I'm actually a
United States. You have American flag on your shirt.
I'm a United States Air Force veteran. My parents are legal immigrants from the Middle East. I don't give into the right wing. I'm not right-wing just because I don't give into that. Like, for instance, first of all,
do you believe there are two genders?
Yes, I believe
Well,
there's.
then you're a right-wing extremist.
That has nothing to do with being.
You can't tell me that that's not from some, like, I mean, you got to be pretty fucking stupid and pretty mentally ill to even allow that to soak into your brain. But is that a genuine, real thought? Or is that put in there and drilled in there and drilled in there and drilled in there? Like, does it come naturally? I don't think so. I really don't think it's a natural. Like, actually, the best example is no, it isn't. Because you see it with Donald Trump, right? You see how The View used to treat Donald Trump before he ran for office or anything like that. And you see the way they talk about him now, right? That is drilled into people. And this chick probably loved Donald Trump when she saw him in fucking Home Alone. Or what, you know what I'm saying? It's bullshit. It doesn't come naturally.
Right wing. There's men and women. If some people have gender dysphoria.
Did you wear a mask during the pandemic?
I definitely did not wear a mask.
Well, then you are a right-wing extremist.
Oh God, dude, I can't
I'm getting very uncomfortable here. I'm already, risking my life being here that you're not wearing a mask.
Are you
right?
So that's what these people are. That's what these people are. But the reason why I decided to show that was because of this. Now, I actually had no idea that this fucking insane person is a fucking teacher. Could you imagine the way that she was talking to Vinny there? That's how she is in the classroom. And you know that that's how she is in the classroom because watch this video.
Hold on, let me get it together here.
She's still wearing the same mask. That mask's probably got COVID.
My name is Luna, activist teacher.
She even refers to herself as activist teacher.
And I teach 4th grade in Florida.
Scary.
It's already been such a hard year having to deal with everything that Ron DeSantis makes me do, like teach math.
The fact that she says that as a teacher, everything that Ron DeSantis makes me do, teach math, teach a curriculum, educate in the way that you should. My God. Oh, Jesus.
I am currently on administrative leave, and my principal has told me that I will most likely not be returning back to the classroom.
Good.
All because I celebrated the murder of a misogynistic, racist, xenophobic fascist. Just to be clear, all
Again, drilled in. This is why the mainstream media has blood on their hands. Fucking TMZ at this point in time has blood on their hands. All of these people that are literally celebrating and decided to not get facts, not get truth, and just parrot bullshit lies and horrible slurs at people to the point where something tragic like this happens, you've got blood on your hands. You know, I was actually thinking the other day, go 500 years into the future. 500 years into the future, and let's hope that things are way, way better 500 years in the future than they are today, right? But go 500 years into the future, and historians are going to look back in time and see all of these people and everything that's happening here and the amount of spewing hate towards this person, and they're going to go back and they're going to start watching all these Charlie Kirk videos, and they're going to be like, what? Like, it doesn't make sense to anyone. I mean, it doesn't make sense to anyone now. I'm just thinking 500 years in the future, when they don't have any bias towards this individual because they weren't around at the time that this person was around, it would be interesting to see what their reactions are to this. Hopefully humanity has gone in the right direction to the point where they do have some compassion and empathy and sympathy for this situation.
fascist. Just to be clear, all I did was post a video where I was dancing and saying that he got what he deserved.
All I did. That's all I did. You teach 4th grade. Did you go into class the next day and dance around and celebrate with your kids that Charlie Kirk got assassinated? Fuck, if I was one of their parents. Hooey. Jesus. If any of the parents of any of the kids that have been in her classroom, I would be communicating with your children immediately. You have to deprogram that shit, before it takes hold. And your child becomes that Tyler fucking idiot. I don't even like saying his name because I know it's going to be written in the record books. What am I saying? History books.
While pouring out a beer. I was also wearing a graphic t-shirt that depicted the moment that he died. And then I said his kids are better off without him. Really, really.
Is that, are you... Oh, no, it's okay. See, this is how retarded I am. I thought you were saying that to me. Surely you're saying that to her. Oh, my God. Ah! This is also, too, why I don't like I don't like talking to people via messages. I just don't. I prefer face-to-face or at least over-the-phone conversation. You get tone, you get deflection, you get, inflection and all that sort of thing. Honestly, Ash, I'm sorry. For a second there, I honestly thought you were saying that to me. For a slight second there, I thought you were saying that to me. Yeah, fucking boomer. Oh, man. All right, let's finish this horrid fucking video.
Served while pouring out a beer. I was also wearing a graphic t-shirt that depicted the moment that he died. And then I said his kids are better off without him. Really, really not that bad. And
see, she thinks that's not bad. Really not that bad. Don't deserve to be cancelled for it, surely.
for taking away my rights for free speech. And to think that I had at least 7 LGBTQ plus students in my classroom, and I know they need me. This is just so unfair.
No, it's not. It's justice. It's justice for good. You are an evil person. You've been teaching those poor children, those poor innocent children. I've actually got to say, I'm starting to no longer believe in the community posts, because I just saw this on that post. I was about to unfucking bookmark it. You think that's a skit? It says here that it's a skit. I was about to say I don't think that is a skit. It's this chick. She does believe that. So did she lose her? Did she actually dance around and celebrate? And then did she actually lose her job? She's playing a character. Oh, is even on that show, is that a character? Is that what you're saying? Have I been completely fooled from the very beginning? That makes me feel really stupid. Honestly, guys, if that's the case, you deserve to talk to my chair more than you deserve to talk to me. Oh my God. Well, thank you for correcting me. But now I feel even more retarded than I already am. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I take it all back. All right, here's something that we're not going to take back. And this is not a skit. This is not a skit, ladies and gentlemen. Subbed because I'm an idiot. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Actually, you know what's really funny is that I'm about to show you two videos, and I just showed you that picture of the rock, and it was, you know, you had the good and the evil, and it really depicted. It had a great image of good and evil right in front of us. We're seeing good and evil display itself in 4K right in front of us. Right here is another good demonstration of the difference between good and evil. And this one really hurts. This one is actually really hard to watch. When I watched this, when I saw this the first time, I actually felt sick. I actually, honestly, this one hurt my soul. I didn't really it was anger, but I can't believe that this is where we are. And we're gonna start with the evil first so that we can cleanse with some of the beautiful and nice. So this is, again, the woke mind virus putting itself out there for everyone to see. I actually can't believe that this person, and this is, again, some of the thing that's wrong with the culture, is that this person feels that it's appropriate and good enough and actually okay in society to film this and actually post it and think that they're in the right. Watch this. If you haven't seen it, I can see obviously a few people, and it would be hard to miss something like this. Don Lemon. You can find what Jimmy Kimmel said just to fucking, you could almost, wouldn't even have to write Jimmy in the search. You could write J in the search and you could find that fucking video. This one makes me angry. I'm sorry, and that's why I'm so pissed by this.
I have the best news ever.
What? Donald Trump died?
First thing I want to say is that this little one here, what, 8? No, because I reckon she might be like 9, 10. 6 maybe. Let's say 6 and 10. The littlest one is the one that said Donald Trump died.
Donald Trump died?
Second best news.
The vice president died?
Okay, third best news.
That Elon Musk died?
Okay, no.
Look how happy they are in answering it like that. I'm sorry, you have failed as a parent. This hurts to see this. These poor innocent children have been brainwashed into this cult woke mind virus mentality their entire lives. They're never going to know any different. They're never going to know what it's like to feel like a human being because of their parents. Now, I'm going to, I don't know whether or not there's a father in this household. I don't know. I would find it hard to, don't get me wrong, there's cucks out there and there's little bitches and beta males out there everywhere at the moment. So it wouldn't surprise me, but it's hard to see. And you know what the good news was after all that?
Nobody died. My best friend's getting married.
Your best friend, I'm sure you know her well then. I'm sure you know her well. If she was your best friend, surely you're going to be her maid of honor, right?
Which one is it?
Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift.
Okay, now there's something telling in the way that when she actually tells them. She's like, Taylor Swiftie! Notice that the kids aren't jumping around. I can tell you now, if she had have said, yes, you're correct, Donald Trump was killed and he died, they both would have jumped around. Like the mother is like a fucking, she's acting like her child when she says Taylor Swift's getting married. The father is military. That's even sadder. That's, oh, God. She's acting like a child, 100%. Has he said anything, this Lieutenant Adam Cole? Has he made a statement or anything? Like, oh, and that doesn't surprise me in the slightest. Oh my God. This is why it's time to stand up and speak the truth. And it's time for reality to take over. It really is. If you want this to keep going, allow your teachers. Aren't teachers one of the biggest ones, like percentage of firings because of this? That should be shocking. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. We knew that there was a lot of shit going on. You see a lot of these parents getting up at what are they called? Like a hearing or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Sorry, I've blanked there. But you know what I'm saying? And they're constantly saying, like, you shouldn't be teaching this. Why are you teaching this? They're getting angrier. They're getting angrier. You keep ignoring them. This is the result. Do you want your kids thinking like this? This Tyler guy or whatever the fuck, this is assassin. That's the result of this. Oh man, this is the thing that hearing that she's a teacher hurts me so much more, because she hasn't just infected her kids. You know that she hasn't just infected her kids. She's infected other people's kids too with this. Oh my God. Let's see something beautiful when it comes to children. I'm sorry.
You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old past said. Boy, you got a friend in me.
Look at her watching her dad.
Yeah, you got a friend in me.
What's this? It's Charlie's daughter, waiting for her dad to come off stage. Runs over, gives him a nice big hug.
You got a friend.
Good, evil. Good, evil. Oh, mate, at this point in time, in Charlie's name, they could take down my channel. I'm so disgusted and so angry, so upset and sad. And the crazy thing is I don't want that to go away. I don't want to forget this. For the rest of my life, I want to feel this. Because you know what it's done? It's opened me up to just, like, I was never much of a lie. Like, I wouldn't sit here and lie or anything, but it just makes me confident. It's actually given me courage to continue to just be real and speak the truth. And not be afraid of the consequences. Fucking disgusted by some of these parents out there, man. Well, let's see. What else have we got? let's talk about some of the stuff that's been actually going on here in Australia with some people. Before I do, though, I am just going to grab another drink. I saw Steph in the chat, so I'm going to play this while I just duck off quickly. I might take a quick bathroom break as well. So enjoy this old clip from a very long time ago. Enjoy.
I said Lyndon would go to the tree and do some ASMR for you, Lethal. In your honor.
I'm so sorry. He'd be hugging that tree. And then he'd be punching it and slapping it, going, "You took my friend." Kicking it. How dare you?
That would be you, Rhino.
Nah. I'd be there going, "Why? Fuck you, Disney! Why?" Old school. I'll be back in a sec. You can now, like, we do need a little bit of laughter, a little bit of happiness just to come back in, and hopefully these clips can give you a little bit of that, because we're going to come back to some disastrous, horrible stuff that we need to watch. Shut up, Eric. All right, I've got to feed the cat as well, so give me a sec. But you know, who couldn't laugh at Mozza farting? Like, honestly.
Oh, Mozza, read that.
So
Mozza, don't let the American bitch.
Did you just fart?
Yes, I did. Tell you what to do.
I think it's bedtime, Mozza.
Question mark.
I think it's bedtime for Mozza. That's
He pushed so far.
that's the type of videos we watch on fucking Happy Hump Day.
I gotta pee. Oh my god.
All right, we're back. Shut the cat up. I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, the good old days, Steph, I know. Why? Fuck you, Disney. That clip is from around the same time that I twerked with Ryan on stream. All the way back in the day. That was before Ryan even had 10,000 subscribers, I think. He was definitely on his way up. Fuck the cat. No, I love my cats. Did you have a nice chat? No, I didn't shit. I just took a leak. Yeah, we did. I don't even remember what mask I was wearing. Was it the Vader mask, or was it the Revan one? The good old days. Isn't it awesome? Like, I've known Steph a long time. I've known Ryan now a long time. Known a lot of people all through this. It's fantastic. And I love them all, and God bless you all. All right. Now, this is, I have to share this with you really quickly. So this is a girl named Abby Chatfield. She's an Australian. And she's a disgusting demon human being. No, can't even call her that. That's a fucking contradiction in terms. She's a fucking disgusting demon. Human being. Fucking, there's nothing human about her. Now, this is the thing. There's some Charlie Kirk connection to this chick, and there's been multiple Australians. This is why I say, like, I understand Americans in the chat. Please don't get me wrong. But when you guys talk about it, you talk about it and you say, like, in this country, like, this has happened and this has happened. I got to tell you guys, it is a worldwide issue in all Western countries. It's worldwide. And I'm not saying to stop, change the way that you speak, like, you know, happening around the world or anything like that. 100%. It's your country, just like this is my country and everything. But it is happening around the world, if you don't know. So, this is this is obviously a little bit before Charlie's death. We had a march for Australia. We Australians are sick of the amount of immigration and what that's causing in our country and everything. And she went on a 6-minute rant. I'm not going to play the whole thing because we're not. Because there's actually a lot of stuff to go over with this, to be honest. So, hopefully I've actually grabbed the right video here. So, yeah, she's woke. She's fucking, I can't stand her voice. I know she's trying to fucking can't stand her. And mind you, this is like the anti-protest to what they marched for, and I would have been there as well. But they were just carrying Aussie flags, you know. Oh, no sound. Fuck, of course, no sound. Now that means I have to go back and listen to that first 19 seconds again. Great. Thanks. Well done, Rhino, you fucking boomer.
I didn't want to talk about this because I didn't want to bring attention to it, but it's now getting attention, so it's time to fucking talk about it and condemn it. On the 31st of August, there is going to be a nationwide protest for the racists and the xenophobes of Australia to get together and march for Australia. Okay? They claim that it is about cost of living. They claim that it is about Australia gaining itself back, winning Australia back, taking Australia back from whom? No one knows. And
from the devil. We've just, this week has revealed that the answer to that question, who we're going to take our country back from, is the devil. It's very simple.
This is nothing but a racist, bigoted, disgusting, terrifying rally. And for any immigrants that follow me or are going to see this video, please fucking know you are welcome. And I know that doesn't feel like it. I know that this country does not make it fucking easy for you, but please know that you are welcome. And
anyway, you get the idea. You saw the same. You've been seeing the same thing in the UK. You had the same thing in America. I'm glad that Trump has been able to do some of the things that he's been able to do. We're not going to watch any more of this. But the reason why I'm showing you that is because this was after it. This was her, because what happened was we had the event. There was a lot of good, normal, hardworking Australians that were there, and then they got infiltrated by this neo-Nazi faction that tried to overtake it. They successfully overtook it here in Brisbane. They didn't. Brisbane told them to fuck off. And like, it was a bit of a disaster here in Melbourne. But this was her response to that.
the footage from this March for Australia rally is fucking
You see this kind of behavior in response to Charlie Kirk's death, right?
It is so embarrassing. These people look exactly how you think.
Now, as annoying as this is to watch, like, especially for me as an Australian, we have to confront it, right? We have to see. We're going to do what Charlie did. We're going to hear your side, and you're going to reveal how disgusting and how inhumane you are, and you're going to be judged based on that. by us. So good luck.
Look, and they're the exact kind of people that you would imagine would go to these fucking rallies. Not a coherent thought between the lot of them nationwide.
So she obviously didn't watch any of the footage of it, because if you actually go through and watch, there was this little old lady, she was in her 80s, that got spat on by one of the other fucking side, one of the people that she cheers for. And she's calling that little old lady a Nazi and fucking embarrassing and, you know, embarrassment to the country and all of this kind of shit. This chick is a piece of shit. This chick is a piece of work, right? No, we're not going there yet. So after she posted these two videos, obviously this before the march, this after the march, she copped a lot of backlash. You ready? You ready for the cuck? Are you ready for the cuck?
All of you pieces of shit that won't listen to a woman because you call me hysterical, here is actually an adult man who will speak to you.
Well, what I'll tell you is, if you're going to be going out there trying to protest to keep this country, first of all, just think about that sentiment. You fucking moronic little piece of shit. You are the biggest fucking loser that's walked on this earth. You are an immigrant yourself, first and foremost. This is not our land. Which is very, I mean, it doesn't take a fucking genius to know that.
People have definitely shown the difference between settlers and immigrants. And the crazy thing is my grandparents came over as immigrants from Malta. But, you know, I mean, we all know anyone with a normal brain in their head, that's already debunked. But you can't speak to these people and actually show them that. And even if you were able to get through to them to show them that, they would choose to be naive.
But you're so far from that it's kind of to be expected.
It's a reminder.
To think that you're protesting against immigrants, that's not even what's going on here. This is flat out racism. And anyone that denies that, you're a fucking racist. You're a piece of shit. You belong in fucking jail or worse, which I won't say. But the main thing is,
again, or worse. What's that or worse? I won't say any more on that.
You are all bigots. You're pieces of shit. You belong on the bottom of everybody's shoe. You're a stain on this fucking country. You shouldn't represent this country at all. Unfortunately, this country is rooted and upheld within racism. So it is very on brand. You're all scum. You need to do fucking better. There's Indigenous people that have been hurt after a bunch of fucking Nazi losers ran through a camp. How the fuck is that trying to reclaim Australia? I mean, you just all got fucking pea brains, tiny cocks, and dumb numbskulls. You fucking idiots. Don't procreate. Just die. You don't belong here. Piss off. You racist fucks. You're all losers. Grow up.
Well articulated there, I think, by the cuck boyfriend. Now, if I can, sorry, I'm just going to quickly check something here because I might need to. No, there is more. So that we will get into the Charlie Kirk aspects of this absolute disgusting. Ugh. And the problem with this is that by basically exposing her, in a way, she is getting obviously traction, and you know, it's a hard thing to navigate with how, like, you know, you want to make these people famous so that they get the consequences of their actions, but you also want you also don't want them to, you know, should be making money off this, no doubt. It's disgusting. I need to find this. Sorry, give me a second here, guys. Maybe if I go to my replies, it'll be there because I did comment on it. I thought I quote tweeted it. I thought I'd just scroll through my Twitter and I'd find it, but maybe I did. Oh, yeah, here we go. So before I actually play it, so this is after Charlie Kirk's death. I don't know if this video is specifically in celebration to that. I think the reason why it is getting out there, hang on, there's something I didn't even notice. Oh, okay, yeah. But sorry, guys. Did you notice the cuck standing in the background, letting his woman/demon, and it's supposed to be demon, it auto-corrected Damon. Fuck. Demon, shake her ass in front of the world. Good luck. Following Charlie's... in Charlie's footsteps. The Holy Spirit really got to help me with this one. I'll pray for you. Watch this. Now, like, this is the thing. I'm kind of disgusted by the video just in general, but it is so funny that her cuck boyfriend that was just talking about like what he was talking about, what you heard him, is just standing there watching his woman shake her ass in front of the world to see. Like a good old slut. Look at him. He's trying to even dance. I almost don't even pay attention to her. Watch him. Watch him. It's actually hilarious because he's so unco. He's got no rhythm as well. So he's kind of like trying to dance and it's like really stiff and stuff. And like, ugh. Look at him. He's laughing at the camera. She's doing a performance for the world, and he's standing behind her laughing, looking at the camera going, look what I got. Yeah, you might get to fuck her and shit like that. But the world gets to see how disgusting and horrible you are and criticize you for that. Both of you. So again, I'm not even going to go through the rest of that. We don't need to see it anymore of that one. All right, now we need to go back to my bookmarks. Okay, so after Charlie Kirk's death, however, she celebrated. It might have been even for that video. But this was a few weeks before Charlie's assassination. This was her a few weeks before Charlie's assassination. So we're not quite there yet.
Americans, when are you going to do it? Why isn't it already done? Every day there's another happening, right? Awful for your country. Awful, right?
She does the cross on her chest like it means something. You don't have God. You don't have God. You're driven by the devil, lady. That's what you have. You do it you try and say that you're doing it in the word of Christ. And you do the actions, but it's soulless and it means nothing. You do it as a performative thing so that the people that do follow you and agree with you, as horrible as they are, continue to because they think that it's righteous. Look at even just look at the way and how quick she does it. It means nothing to her.
Your country. Awful, right? Why don't we redirect this energy to something else? There's all these incels that are going, oh my God, fuck me. So they go and do, what would actually...
she keeps doing the fingers, right? Like that's...
make people respect you a little bit and make people want you is if you did it.
So, some chicks out there will fuck you if you actually go out there and shoot a politician on the right. People will like you and respect you and fuck you. She said that.
Make people want you is if you did. People respect you a little bit and make people want you is if you did it.
It's just, it's so demonic. Like I said, I've almost had this massively spiritual awakening from this moment. And I don't know what it's done to me, and I don't ever want to not feel like this ever again.
Get heaps of fan mail. Oh my god. Oh my god. Just do it.
So she's calling for violence weeks before. Oh, so yeah. So this is the thing.
Love a quote.
Oh, so that's in response. Man, there's so much to this. And this is just one person. There's a few people specifically in Australia. There's even been politicians and senators that have been being called out. Meth. Man, 100% they're on ice, both of them. Man, I used to do it. The telltale signs are all there. All there. And I think a lot of these psychos do it. So this is the thing. I don't exactly know. I can't even find a thing of her actually celebrating it unless it was that video of her dancing. Because even you can talk around for an hour. Like the lyrics are, I don't know. It could have been that video. But then she gets some consequences for her actions. My
intentions. I get it enough from...
So this is her after getting so much hate and anger from so many people because she provoked them. Your tears mean nothing. They are so driven in hatred and fakeness that they actually don't exist to us. They come out of your eyes and they turn into steam almost immediately. They're not even there to us.
From people on the right and trolls and men that hate me and want to threaten me and want me dead. Please stop dehumanizing me. Please.
What? Like do you want me to go back to the very earliest video that we just fucking played? Not the one you dancing and shaking your ass around like a fucking slutty little demon? You want me to feel sorry for you? Are you fucking serious? You're so inhumane. And the hardest thing about this, and I keep saying it, is that Charlie would want me to pray for you. Charlie would actually want me to not actually feel so much hatred towards you for this. He'd want me to have some compassion. It's fucking hard, I tell you what. It is really hard to have any form of compassion or even the will to want to pray for these people.
Please, you can criticize my content. You can criticize my work. Just I'm begging.
We can criticize your content. We did. Actually, you idiot. Did you celebrate and that was in your content? This is the brain fart of the left. That's it. They're full. Anytime they come to a conclusion that they don't like, they have a brain fart and it switches.
You to stop lying about my intentions and stop saying that I have a personality disorder.
Lying about your intentions. What were your intentions behind? Man, fucking like I said, there's so much. What was
When are you going to do it? Why isn't it already done? Every day there's another
shooting
happening, right? Awful for your country. Awful.
Yeah. Okay. We know what your intentions were. We know, and they don't align with humanity and society.
Disorder. You don't know me.
We know enough. And you just said that we can criticize your content. So are you basically saying, now you're basically saying that your content isn't you? You're one of those people that if we were to meet you in real life, you wouldn't be the same personality and persona that you are when you make your content. That's another thing that you're revealing to me. If that's true, which I don't think it is, I think you're just doing this because you're getting the amount of fucking hate and criticism.
This is so fucking triggering. I just want her to stop.
Yeah, it's fair.
Also, please, when I post about Palestine, stop using that as a reason to critique me more and say that I'm before.
What? You just said we can criticize your content. Shut up, bitch. Shut up, bitch. You've got no fucking brain. Your brain fart is off like a fucking trigger. Oh, so I forgot what I was saying. Free Palestine. Oh, Charlie Kirk died. Fucking immigrants are allowed to be here. This country was built on immigrants. We should be allowed to burn the Australian flag. It's freedom of speech. Like, that's you so fucking ugh. And we see it.
Formative or whatever. Please stop discouraging me from posting about Gaza. It isn't working. You're just.
You see her politics, right? Palestine, Gaza, fucking cheering for Charlie Kirk, immigration. She's the same as the radical left in America. And this is what I'm trying to say to you guys, is that this woke mind virus isn't just an American fucking thing. It may have been born in America. But fuck, has it infiltrated the world like a cancer?
Encouraging others. And you're encouraging trolling of me. Please, like
I'm you know what I mean encouragement of? Exposing you for the evil demon that you are. And the fact that civilization, as we know it, isn't going to allow that kind of behavior. We're not going to tolerate it anymore. We were tolerant enough. You know, when we did our vote for can same-sex people get married, and it was overwhelmingly yes. You know, I can guarantee you that I reckon 50% of the people that voted yes on that regret voting yes. I've talked to some of them.
I'm just trying to do what I can to help. I don't understand why she's so...
It seems so fake too, by the way. Like, you know, people want to talk about Erica Kirk's speech being fake. Man, props to that woman, man. The strength that she had after just days to get up there and say what she said. And people wanted to criticize her for the way that she was almost whispering some of those things underneath her. Could you imagine what's going on in her head while she's trying to speak? You wouldn't even be able to keep a simple thought in your head. I can guarantee you, whether or not those things are naturally her and naturally her personality and her persona, and that's the way that she does speak, right? Those little whispers was her trying to analyze in real time what the fuck has just happened to her world. And you want to criticize her for that? You are just as evil. You are just as bad. You are just as disgusting in my eyes. You know, all of these people, I actually put a tweet out about this. All of these people, I put you on the same level as those 5 dancing Israelis on 9/11. You remember those guys? I don't know if you've ever seen them. I'm sure a lot of you have. Those 5 dancing Israels, the person that caught them on the rooftop of a car park or something from a distance, watching the towers go down and everything, and they're dancing and celebrating. You know what happened to them? I don't personally. I know that they were thrown in jail or something. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. And I don't know if they're still there or whether or not they've been let out or whatever the case may be. But guess what? You are on the same level as that. You know what a terrorist does when they succeed in committing terrorism? They dance, cheer, and celebrate. And we're all disgusted by it. We're all supposed to be disgusted by it. All normal human beings are anyway. So that's the point. You want me to feel sorry for you now that you're getting the consequences for your actions, and then they spin it and say, see, they're being fascistic. They're trying to cancel us and trying to silence us. No, you silenced Charlie with a fucking bullet, and this is retaliation. This is retaliation without violence. That's what this is. This is retaliation without violence. Consequences for your actions and your words. Now, I'm all for the freedom of speech thing, but there are levels and there are certain morals that go along with that freedom of speech. I'm not watching any more of her crying because it is just fake victim bullshit mentality, and I think you guys have seen enough. I think this last one is the last one. Stupid. So the comment that she's replying to is, she celebrated 2 little kids watching their father die. If that's a strong woman, let me be weak. Oh, that was coming from a woman. There you go.
Hi, Shayla. I'd love a quote on when I ever celebrated Charlie Kirk's death. Would love a quote.
Look, I to be honest with you, I don't need now, because I haven't seen a specific quote or thing from you. It's enough for me to say the dancing thing is pointed that way. You're clearly happy in a time of where the entire world basically is mourning, which is telling. But also too, just from the incitement and then the continuation of the fact that you are so infected with the woke mind virus is enough for me. Is enough for me.
Comment it below what I said, because I actually didn't do that.
Well, it doesn't matter whether or not you did or didn't do that, because everything that we've seen from you and everything that's come out from you is showing us and revealing us, just like what basically has happened, the web of Charlie Kirk has gone out to show us good and evil before our very eyes, to wake us up and bring us out of the fog of bullshit and lies and reveal to us truth and lie. Good and evil.
So you've made this up in your head, and
just like you made up all the bullshit that you said about Charlie Kirk, just like you made up in your head that all those people that were protesting in Melbourne streets on the 30th or 31st of August were Nazis and fascistic people and disgusting and blah, 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 just like that. No sympathy. None. Nada. You're done. It's over. There's no both sides argument. There's no, it is one-sided. It is so one-sided that the other side is so minute, it's almost the same statistic as children dying from COVID. I'm not saying that, and to be honest with you, a lot of it from the right, if it ever does actually happen, is almost in retaliation for such like something like this. I'm surprised, and I congratulate you, America, on your restraint. Wow. Well done. Like, honest to God, from my heart. Well fucking done. And that's the Charlie effect, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I put that in the title.
You have 600 likes on that comment.
Yeah.
I'm getting death threats.
Good.
Because people
Well,
like you are...
I better be careful with that. Almost went straight off the handle. No, but like I don't agree with anyone getting death threats. No, there shouldn't be this much hate and everything being thrown around. Whatever, right? But I can certainly understand people's anger and hatred towards you when not only are they trying to mourn, but you're refusing to let them in peace. You're so evil and demonic that you refuse to let them mourn and pray and all of that in peace. I'm sorry, but I can't have any sort of hope for you as a human being when that is the kind of person that you are. And once again, Charlie would be disappointed in me for even saying that. It hurts so much because Charlie was the best. I'm done with this. I'm sorry. I got to get out of here. Charlie was the best of what we wanted to be represented, how we wanted to be represented through discourse and democracy. When we couldn't have the willpower to keep our anger at bay when somebody's fucking screaming in our face, calling us a Nazi and a fucking fascist and a fucking... And we would just give them a fucking right hook. Charlie. It's Charlie's hand right now that is coming in and stopping people from throwing punches or shooting off their guns. I'm telling ya. And it hurts. It really hurts. Because I know people were saying this very early on after it happened. You killed the one person that was willing to have the conversation with you. Do you think I would want to talk to Abby? No fucking way. She'd filibuster and she'd fucking yell over the top of me and just call me names. Call me a Nazi and all of this kind of stuff. And Charlie was the one person that would be able to break her down and say, all right, all right. What's your position? What's your view? Why do you believe that? Okay, cool. I got it. Thank you for letting me know. This is what I think. And he took a bullet for it. And you celebrated it, which shows how inhumane you are. And this is for everybody, not just Abby, all the Abbies that are out there. You disgust me. You really disgust me. And the way that you spin it in your head and you play the mental gymnastics to try and point you continuously, you can never, ever take responsibility. Not once have you taken a step back, looked in the mirror and said, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Or maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I shouldn't have recorded that and uploaded it. You've never once thought that. And you know what? The funny thing is that everybody else on the other side, they keep having to correct themselves because this is the hard thing, is that they want I can't even now think of the word that I was about to fucking say. These people want retaliation and they would go to violence for that. To me, these people are so fucking lost that they don't even, and they live outside of the realms of reality, that they don't even see what the possibilities of what they could unleash in the way that they're acting would do to them. And it's like Gutfeld said, as soon as they start to actually open their eyes and see how they, in some way, shape, or form, have been responsible for the downfall of society and they've got blood on their hands, their world comes crumbling down. They can't. They wouldn't be able to live with themselves. They shouldn't be able to live with themselves. So good luck, Abby. I'm sure I'll be seeing more of you because you just can't help yourself but be fucking retarded. You can't help yourself. Let's see, what else have we got? And this is the thing. I'm going to share this actually because this is important to note. Because again, you don't see much of this kind of behavior coming from the right. I'll say that. The only time that I ever see somebody spurting out the word Hitler, Nazi, or anything, it is always from the left. Always. Always. 100% of the time. But you know what? We don't actually call you guys Nazis. What we're saying right now is that what you did to Charlie is fascistic behavior. You're the ones that are now starting to act like fascists. It's the first time. Like, I'm sure people have made that distinction before. But you are guilty of what you claim the other side is. And there's no better evidence than the internet. The internet's forever, ladies and gentlemen. And you can see it play. This was the same thing when the Trump assassination thing happened. We've got to cool the jets down. As soon as the jets cool down, you're back out there 3 months, not even probably, a month later, saying that Trump is Hitler, that all his followers are Nazis, you know, go and fucking light fucking Elon's cars on fire, all of that shit.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
That's an address to to America, but the world gets to see it because we've got the internet now.
We're fighting fire with fire. I'm going to punch these sons of bitches in the mouth.
Enemies of the state.
Oh my God. They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized right up to the right.
Never forget you. Arena.
This is a dictator.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
I thought he should have punched him in the face.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face!
You all have blood on your hands. Every single one of you. Every single one of you should be ashamed. I'm just going to share this with you really quickly. We're not going to go too much longer. Let's see here. Thanks again, everyone, for being here. All the people that are still here and hanging out. I know it's starting to get a little bit late and a few people have obviously dropped out, but everybody that did come over from Camelot's raid and that's still here, I really do appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you for hanging out. If you would, please smash the like button, like the stream, all of that sort of stuff. Sorry, and subscribe, all of that sort of stuff. Sorry, my head's... It's been tough, man. I know it's a week out, but it's been really tough. So this is an Australian chick as well that you know, celebrated Charlie's death. There's another one.
What do I think about Charlie Kirk?
Australian, yeah, okay.
So speech and action are not the same thing. You can disagree with someone's words, even find them offensive, and that's debate. But harassment and bullying are actions. And in
harassment and bullying are actions.
Australia, they're also criminal offences.
Especially when they're words. Yeah, in Australia, they are starting to become criminal offences. Dude, I got to get out of here. I really do.
And it's really important that people know the difference. So the moment you start taking actions against someone.
She's getting the croaky voice because this is after she got fucked over and busted.
But I do a quick check-in after yesterday and all of the drama. Want to reiterate that it is not wrong or unethical or unkind to laugh at the misfortunes of terrible people. That Charlie Kirk incited violence. That's what he did. And then that came back to haunt him. That was his decision. So it's got nothing to do with the people who are laughing and joking about him becoming a human water fountain. If you want some perspective, I would strongly...
All right, we're not going to listen to any more of that. But she got fucked over. I don't exactly know what happened, but fucking like... It's sad. It's honestly sad. I feel for humanity that this has happened. It's funny, Tom McDonald, the devil is a Democrat. Fuck, man. We're actually going to watch Tom McDonald's tribute song to Charlie. We got Destiny. Fuck, man, this is the thing. There is so much to go over. I'm going to touch on Destiny really fucking quickly. I don't want to jump into too much. Like, I'm sure that you guys have seen everything about it. It's disgusting. We all know it's disgusting. We all know that Destiny's in trouble for some other stuff too. I believe it's got to do with, let's just say kids, because I don't know whether or not it's child pornography or like, I don't exactly know the details of it. Now, see, this is where I could purely come out and say, oh, Destiny, he fucks little kids in the ass, he fucking all does, he's raped, fucking all. I could say all of that, just like they do when they throw out the rhetoric of being a Nazi or anything. But here I am, sitting here going, sorry, guys, I actually don't know the full details. I know it has something to do with kids. I think it's one child or something around like high teens. And that's all I really sort of know. But if I was a leftist, fuck, I would have to make sure that I give you incorrect information through just speculation and make sure I smear his name in the process of it all. But anyway, I'm sure you've heard this stuff. This is quite disgusting and quite scary. Because again, I don't think that these people actually know what they're actually saying that they want. Maybe they do. Maybe they do. And they actually do want civil war. And that's why they're poking the bear. They're prodding all of these people to try. They basically are inciting violence through their celebration.
I think that liberals need to wake up and finally realize that if they're not willing to do it, it will never come down. If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive, Donald Trump shouldn't have been president for the second term. Every time he's in office, this happens. People joked about when Biden came in, it was so boring, nothing was going on. 7 out of 10 of the largest protests in American history have happened under Donald Trump. I think
this is the thing, like, there's 4 people on that panel that I reckon vehemently disagree with him. And now, obviously, they do have the debate and they come out and they scream at each other and all of that shit. But Destiny's been running his mouth for fucking long enough, really. But a long fucking time. And spewing this bullshit. Same with Hassan. Oops, I actually did not mean to do that. Same with Hassan as well. He's been exactly the same. Fucking spewing this shit. I could have sworn it was just there, the other one.
Need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed when they go to events so that they look to their leadership to turn down the temperature. The issue is right now, they don't feel like there's any fear. Like, I don't know. It's like memes. It's just memes to everybody, I guess. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't care.
He realized he fucked up there. But that is incitement. You're inciting the death of the other side to scare them into a submission so that they go to their leaders to cool down their temperature. I swear the mental gymnastics is just, it's beyond reality. These people live so far outside of reality. I just can't, like, these people, like, almost like with what I said with the shooter. Put him in a padded cell, and for the rest of his rotten life, just reruns over and again of just Charlie Kirk videos. These people need to be deprogrammed out of the woke mind virus cult bullshit and being shown how to be a human being. You know what would actually work? Man, you know what would actually work? Put them in a room, give them a Bible, and have the Bible audio, like a Bible audio book running on repeat. Because if you gave them the actual Bible, they would just tear it up, especially the first couple of times. You know, just so that they can be taught how to be a normal human being. This is the thing. The Bible, it's hard to understand sometimes with the Bible. The way that it speaks and the way that it talks to you is different for everyone. But actually, it'd be better just do it the Charlie way. Because the way Charlie was able to incorporate almost biblical stuff and stuff from the Bible and everything, and just incorporate that into normal life and how you would treat others and, you know, all of this kind of thing. Yes, it's all attributed, and he would attribute it all to the gospel. But the way that some people are able to explain it, there's this other guy, George Festo or something like that. I apologize. I can't remember the surname. But just sometimes in their conversation, the way that they can explain certain lessons and certain things that they learned through the Bible or whatever, it actually makes it easier to consume and understand when you hear these people talk about it. No, definitely not George Floyd. You mean basic ethics, Rhino? Yeah, that's true, yes. Destiny's Jory's retarded. He's on gear, for sure. Telltale signs there all over the place. He's definitely on the shit.
Need conservatives to be afraid of.
Oh, we don't need to listen to that again. Disgusting. But again, that's Destiny, ladies and gentlemen. That's how Destiny thinks about all of this. Would you like to be seen? Would you? Not that you would, because he probably never leaves his house, and he'd probably be too scared to, especially now. But if you were to walk past him at a theme park or something with a MAGA hat on, would you feel sort of like, I mean, I guess you would still feel safe because, well, you know, the thing in America is he could just pull out a gun, which would get him in a distance. But if you were actually close quarters with Destiny, you wouldn't be afraid of him at all. Little bitch. So that's Destiny. Where's Hassan? Hassan actually made it onto the ABC here in Australia. Can't make it onto Pierce or anything like that because he's too disgusting. So the ABC here in Australia, the most devilish place, city, country in the world, will platform this piece of shit on mainstream news.
I want to ask you about your own rhetoric. I noticed that Elon Musk has been posting about you.
Yes.
And I don't know the context of these particular statements, but here's a quote from you about landlords who don't want to rent out their properties. You said, kill them, murder them, let the streets soak in their red capitalist blood. Doesn't that make you part of the problem with violent discourse?
This was in a conversation that I was having with a landlord friend of mine.
Now, the one thing that I will say is, yes, it's good that she asked this question. It's good that she's calling him out on this. I will say that much. I got to give a little bit of credit there, at least that they're not showing him as this, like, you know, oh, he's speaking really good stuff and blah, 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 blah. Hassan's a piece of shit, ladies and gentlemen. And he is evil and he's corrupted by the devil, which is a Democrat.
And it's, of course, hyperbolic, and it's not meant to be sincere. This is not sincere.
Oh, this is where they go with it now. Oh, you know, when I said it, if you took it so seriously, that's on you. I wasn't meaning it like that. No, even if you didn't mean it like that, the fact that you even said it, and there's a psychopath sitting in your chat this has all been building up in their head for so long, and then they hear you say it, and they go, yes, I'm going to act. I'm going to commit an act of violence because it's justified because Hassan said so, because the mainstream media said so. It's fine. Totally fine.
Your advocacy. It's not a real policy that I would.
It's the same thing. I'm sorry. I know that Andrew Tate has been very, in support of and he's got empathy and stuff like that. But when he went on Piers Morgan, I watched that little interaction. He was wrong. He wrote civil war, just those two words, in as a statement in his thing, and he tried to spin it and say that, no, I meant it as if we continue like this, civil war's coming. Well, you didn't write that. You did just write civil war. And this is where, even with our responses, we've got a tippy toe. It feels like disgusting almost. Because this is the thing. The left is so retarded in their thinking that if you don't actually spell it out for them, they will take it as, they will spin it to make it suit their narrative.
Would ever advocate for. And that's precisely the reason why when Republicans were desperately looking for any sort of incisive language that they could present, they went back to
it's bullshit because there's been so many accounts of you spewing this bullshit hatred and violence, inciting it. And this is the thing, they're all starting to get scared now because people have woken up and are actually going, hang on, you did incite there. You did do this. Not enough, which is scary as well, but a lot.
Very obvious instance of LARPing, an insincere statement that is obviously hyperbolic from, I believe, 2018.
My question stands nonetheless. Doesn't that...
That's what I love. At least she came back and she goes, my question stands nonetheless. And she elaborates. Listen. Sorry, I interrupted her there.
2018.
My question stands nonetheless. Doesn't that kind of language contribute to the atmosphere of violent, even lethal violence in the United States?
I don't believe that my insincere statements that don't reflect on any.
Oh, so we can make that same justification. If we were to decide to come out and just all of a sudden start calling Biden Hitler and fucking all his followers Nazis, like, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I wasn't being sincere. Again, these people are now starting to expose the fact that either you are the person that you are when you're showing yourself on stream or you're not. And what you're saying right here is that you're not. So when you're behind closed doors, you don't support Palestine, right? You don't believe the stuff and the hatred and the violence that you're spewing, the incitements of violence that you're spewing. You don't actually believe that when the cameras are off. But when the cameras are on, you do. That is what you've just exposed there.
Of my beliefs whatsoever, in 2019 has led to any sort of real world violence whatsoever.
If it's true that Trump did announce Antifa as a terrorist organization, well then yes, good, we're coming for you. We're done. Our eyes are wide open. We see the truth. We see the truth. And the crazy thing is with this entire experience, we're not even the ones that have to judge you. You'll be judged. You'll be judged. And good luck on that day. Whew. I wouldn't want to be you. I honestly, if I'm being completely honest with myself, I wouldn't even want to be me. I wouldn't even want to be me. All right, we've been going 3 hours. Look, let me close off with this. This isn't something, and I've been thinking about it all stream, to be honest with you, because I mentioned it earlier in the stream. And I don't usually talk about my life, my personal life, and I'm about to dive into something very, very personal. My religious background is very, very shaky. Very shaky. I have a Maltese background. My grandfather and grandmother are immigrant. They migrated over here not long after the war. And I've been like second generation Australian, basically. When I was born, I was baptized Catholic. And I don't really have too much of a recollection of that time of my life, because when I turned around 6, this is very hard for me to talk about because the amount of judgment that can come through for, like, I hope you hang around for this though. When I was around 6, my parents decided to start practicing Islam. We became Muslims. And let me just say, me and my older sister, we used to have to pray 5 times a day. We could never eat McDonald's with our cousins and stuff like this. This is what it sort of meant to us just as kids. The praying 5 times a day thing, the one thing that I do remember from that time is that obviously we go to school, we miss the 2 afternoon prayers, but when we get home from school, we had to catch up on those 2 prayers. But even all the other prayers that we had to do, for the first maybe 6 months of being Muslim, my sister and I were doing the prayers. I never memorized them. I never knew them. I would just do them with my sister, or do the actions with my sister. The rest of the time, we would go into one of our bedrooms, lay down the prayer mats, and sit on the bed and maybe have a chat for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. We never, ever took that to heart or really ever believed it. Yes, we did Ramadan stuff and we fasted and shit like that. It was awful. It was awful. I'm telling you. So that was from the age of about 6 till I was about 13, something like that. And then Scientology came along. I'm sure you've all heard of Scientology. Scientology came along. And I always struggled in school and stuff like that. So for me, it actually was a way for me to get out of going to school. I was also bullied at school a fair bit. It was a way for me to get out of school, and I decided that I wanted to go work in the Church of Scientology when I was about 14. So my parents let me leave, and I ended up going and working in the Church of Scientology here in Melbourne till I was about 21, 20. And then I decided that I wanted to leave the Church of Scientology, and that wasn't good enough. It's a long process, and I'm not going to get into a lot of the details because this is more about Charlie and Charlie's effect, right, on me as an individual. They declared me what they consider a suppressive person, which basically means your family, anyone that's a Scientology, is no longer allowed to talk to you, associate with you, or anything. So from the age of 20, my parents kicked me out of the house. They blamed me over Scientology. They actually wrote a letter to my grandparents and my aunties and uncles, basically saying the reason why this has happened, this disconnect between me and my immediate family, is because I was an alcoholic, I was a drug addict, and I threatened to murder a family member. There were some other things in there. I hate talking about it. I remember the moment my grandparents told me, none of them ever let me read the letter, which I'm actually a little bit annoyed about. But my grandparents told me about it, and then my auntie told me about it, and I couldn't believe. I just couldn't believe what I was hearing. So from the age of 20 till I was about 28, almost 29, I must admit, in that time, I'm not at fault for what happened in my life. I got really into drugs after the fact. That's the thing. Like, my mum wrote this letter to them, and it was almost like I was already rebelling a little bit. This is the craziest thing. There's so much to this story, guys. This is the craziest thing. When I left the church and they declared me and everything, I ended up, my first job that I got was door-to-door sales. So I was going around knocking on people's doors, selling power and gas retailers or whatever. And then we had a van in a team of people with, I think, 12 to 15 reps in the team. And the company that I worked for had like 15 vans with that many reps in each van, and they'd go out to their locations and go and do it. It turns out that miraculously out of nowhere, one of the reps that ended up in my team, when we went on a road trip, I smoked a joint for the first time, reported that. He was a Scientologist. He reported that back to the church, and the church called me in, and then that's where I believe my mum thinks the drug addict thing came from, and she used that to tell my family what's wrong with me. First time I ever smoked a joint. You know, it's crazy. The spying and everything that you hear that's bad about Scientology is true. Let me just say that. What else was where was I? Sorry, this gets really messy because there is so much to that part of it. So yes, from 20 till 28, I was declared by them a suppressive person, never spoke to my family in that time, despite sometimes I needed problems. I remember there was a time I tried to call my mum. She answered, I hung up. She hung up on me. Then I tried to call Dad. His phone was off. I tried to call my sister. I said, hi, it's Ryan. She hung up on me and then switched her phone off. All my friends at the time, you got to remember, with everything that I told you, from the age of 14 and me leaving school, I was working in the church. So I had a lot of friends. Basically, my whole entire world was revolved around those people. Anyway, so yeah, at 28, I get a phone call from the church basically asking me to come in there. And I'm like, well, I finally now gotten to a point where I've finally come to terms in myself that I'm never going to see my family again. And I'm now at a point where I feel like I can move on. It took that long and a lot of beating myself up. But I finally got to that point, and then I get a phone call from them. Right. And the first couple of times I was like, fuck this shit, and hung up on them and everything. And then I'm like, what do you actually want? And they're like, oh, we need to talk to you. We need to show you something. And I'm like, well, you can tell me or show me over the phone. It's like, oh, we want to reverse the declare that we've done on you, and we should never really have done that, but we need you to come in to do that. And I'm like, what? All right. So I went in there. They said that they should never have done what they did to me. Had a moment with my sisters, crying, bawling, all of that sort of thing. And for the last 10 years now, I have been able to still associate with them, but they are all still involved with it. Which got me to a point where I asked them not to talk about Scientology in my presence because it makes me feel really uncomfortable. And I also asked them never to bring out the situation with me ever. Like, we're done with it. Like, if we're going to try and move forward, I don't ever want it to be brought up ever again, sort of thing. And that couldn't happen. So I've now decided to disconnect from them. And I only decided that at the beginning of this year. In fact, the one moment that made me realize that I'm making the right decision by disconnecting from them. And the hard thing is, with everything that's happened with Charlie, it makes me think maybe I shouldn't have disconnected with them because family is important and all of that kind of thing. So I'm a little bit torn and conflicted now with the decision that I made. But when I was in America, I went and visited America in October last year. And I went to Orlando. And guess where my mum was at? She was in Clearwater, Florida, doing shit with Scientology, right? And she came and visited me for 3 days. She came and stayed in my hotel room for 3 days, right? And in that 3 days, she brought up the Scientology thing with me, right? Which infuriated me. And after she left, after 3 days, the relief that I felt was indescribable. So I don't know, because there's so much more to the story. Like, even with that letter that my parents wrote after they said the declares are done and, sorry and blah, 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 blah. I said to Mum, I go, I will never begin to start to forgive you until you go out and you tell all the members of the family, right, that you sent that letter to, that you were full of shit and that it was lies and it was actually Scientology that created this situation. I gave her a couple of months or whatever, and I went and asked her and I said, did you do it? And she said, yes. So this was before my grandparents passed away. I went to them first because they were the first people that I found it out from, and I asked them and they said no. Now, at this point in time, my grandma was already going through a bit of dementia, and my grandfather, he was completely cognitively fine. Both of them, though, said no. And I'm like, all right, let me check with my auntie, the one that told me about it. She said no. So once again, you've lied because you're trying to protect Scientology. I'm not having that. I'm sorry. I'm not having it, right? There is a point to this, guys. I'm sorry if this is dragging out, but there is so much to this story. Anyway, so for me, when it comes to religion, because Scientology consider themselves a religion, they're not. They're a cult, right? And when it comes to my religious background, you can see how shaky this is for me. I almost need faith, but I completely rejected it because I'm so confused by it, because I've gone through being baptized Catholic up until I was 6, can't remember really shit about any of that stuff. Went to Islam from 6 to roughly 12 or 13, and then went to fucking Scientology after that. What a fucking nightmare. But from watching Charlie Kirk, and this is where the goodness out of this story reveals itself. Because of Charlie Kirk, and this is no word of a lie, and I'm not using this because of the incident that's happened. It's truly not. I wish I knew who some of the people were that I told about reading the Bible. I know there's a couple of people at work. It was about a year ago. I picked up the Bible for the very first time and just decided to start reading it. Now, I was in a very depressed, and I'm going through some financial issues that I'm still trying to deal with now. And again, felt like the world was closing in on me a little bit. About a year ago. Still kind of struggling through that now. But I was watching Charlie, and I was just watching clips. And then there was that one clip. Actually, you know what? Let me find it. Let me find it so that I can play it, because this is the one thing that made me decide, okay, let me just look into this, right? Let me just look into this. I started praying. I had no idea what the fuck I was doing, right? I was going, dear Lord, honestly don't even know if that's the right way to actually come into a prayer. But if you're there and you can hear me, I'm just going to talk, and I hope you're listening. And then I just went. Because I don't know. But I want to show you the video that did that to me. And then we'll continue. You've probably seen it. You've probably seen it because it's a really, really good video. Oh, come on, surely. Okay, what if I just put that into Twitter instead of YouTube? That's really strange, though. It should have just worked. Okay, this is the video, but somebody's done some black and white and a bit of music over the top, but you'll still... No, good. All right, I found one that doesn't have any distraction of music or anything. I know that sometimes they put nice music behind it, and it makes you feel even more into it. But you've probably seen this. This was the video that made me pick up the Bible for the very first time approximately a year ago and start praying.
Have you ever been to Israel?
No, I'm just curious.
Let me just contribute this as a...
Oh, it's not this fucking video. All right, it's this one. I'll just play the one that had the music.
Jesus, what did he believe?
Well, obviously he's Jew.
Where was Jesus born?
Why does that matter?
He's born in Bethlehem, okay. And he was raised in Nazareth, and he walked on the water in Capernaum. What country are those places in right now?
What does it matter?
It does matter. You know why? Because when I went to Israel, I came in contact with the living God that walked on water and rose Lazarus from the dead. When I went to Israel, I saw the Bible come to life. When I went to Israel, I saw Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and Sarah, Rebecca, and Leah. When I went to Israel, what I read as Bible stories popped open. And I said, this is the word of God. This is real. These are not fairy tales or fables or things that we tell our kids. When I went to Israel, I was able to cry where Jesus cried. where he was betrayed by Judas and arrested, where he rose from the dead and gives us eternal life. I am not an apologist for Israel, but I reject wholeheartedly this narrative. Christians who turn their back on Israel, it says in Genesis and Romans and 1 Thessalonians, Paul said, you will bless the Jews. If you bless Israel, you will be blessed. If you scorn Israel, you will be scorned. There is a diabolical, satanic agenda every single day to try and delegitimize the scriptures. And I will defend the Holy Land, the place that let me see where my Lord and Savior lived. And I will not apologize for that.
Such wisdom. That was one of the things about Charlie, is it was the way that he could articulate everything. Like, it was just, there's such wisdom in that. But that was the video that got to me. So again, I pick up the Bible for the first time in my life. I start praying, not knowing what I'm really doing. And you know the thing that hurts me the most is that, like, don't get me wrong, it wasn't just that video, mind you. It was, like, watching videos of him over time, that was just it was almost like the straw that broke the camel's back. Sorry, I did get a big, Eric Allen, sorry, dude. I don't want it's $20 super chat. Thank you so much. Damn, man, thank you for sharing this. It sounds really painful. I appreciate that. The thing is like, I've told this story to a lot of people, and it's now gotten to a point, and like, for me, it's almost like I need to share this because this is what Charlie did for me from across the other side of the world. And there's a meaning behind it. I don't know how else to explain it. For me, there's a lot of meaning behind it. And thank you for listening. Thank you. God bless you. And also SWA for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. And God bless you too. And God bless Demogenai for his earlier super chat as well. God bless you all for being here. Really. So yeah, as I was saying, I was watching Charlie and there was always some biblical aspects to some of the videos. Sometimes there wasn't. It was just common sense that we're seeing and truth being told and everything. And then I see that video. That's the catalyst that makes me almost wakes me up a little bit. And again, the painful thing is it only lasted maybe 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month at the most, right? And I'm ashamed to say that I fell off the bandwagon a little bit. I fell off it completely. I didn't continue reading the Bible, and I sort of stopped praying. And then this happens. And I almost feel like, have you ever seen Boondock Saints? You ever seen that movie? And you know, when they're sleeping that night in the jail, not that they're under arrest, they just decided, because they didn't want to see the press, they just decided to spend the night in there. And something speaks to them and they sort of wake up. I had a bit of a moment like that. Honest to God, I had a bit of a moment like that. I felt it in my heart and in my soul. And it was crying. All of it. So once again, I'm back listening. I say listening to the Bible because, as I mentioned earlier, I'm a bit dyslexic in reading, and obviously the Bible is hard to read and understand. And I'm reading parts of the Bible, and I'm praying, and I'm watching a lot of these other people talk about parts of the gospel that is helping me understand. And it honestly it's affected me profoundly. Oh, man. I'm sorry. This man wasn't just an American. He is an American. Don't get me wrong. But that's not just, he wasn't just an American. He wasn't just a conservative. This is the week. And the crazy thing is I don't want to stop feeling it. I don't know what it is. Because I feel like if I stop feeling it, the same thing will happen. Whereas a month will go by and I'll stop. And I know that that's in me and that's in my own willpower. But I don't want it to go away. Maybe the best way to do that is to put a picture of Charlie on my phone for the rest of my life. Maybe I need to do that. I'm telling you, he's a saint. He's a prophet. I don't even know if I'm saying things correctly. That's how out of touch with religion I have been. It means something. And seeing these people, like as we've just gone through this entire stream, seeing these people dancing on the grave of this person, and that's why I commend you, America, and I commend anyone that's had to confront the evil right in front of their faces for not retaliating the way that Charlie wouldn't have wanted you to. When you say we are Charlie, I am seeing it right before my very eyes through your actions. And I commend you and congratulate you for that. Anyway, so I don't even know where I was in my story, and I don't even know, sorry, whether I was even finished telling the story. Basically, you get the idea, though. It opened my eyes. And, you know, it's revealed, like I've been saying the entire stream, it's revealed good and evil to us. And now it's up to us in regards to what we do with or to that evil. We need to exercise it. I don't even know if that's exorcism. How do you say that? We need to exorcism that out of people. Eric Allen for another $20. Dude, thank you so much. God bless you. You're a good man. Keep it up. Well, thank you. Melanie Mack has a Bible study she reads if that helps. But you're a damn good man. Well, thank you. It means a lot right now. And let me extend that same thought out to all of you guys. I mean, I think I've noticed a couple of people. I don't know whether or not they're trolling, and this is my own cognitive ability to actually read the chat and understand whether or not somebody's trolling, joking, or being serious. But thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you for listening to that. Like I said, I hate getting into the personal stuff, and the reason why I never actually really brought it up was because. Because Scientology said, sorry, I was able to have my family back in my life. But the thing is, if I come out and talk badly about Scientology now, there's a very good chance that they will just declare me a suppressive person again, which means that I can't see my nieces and nephews and stuff. But I've now already made the decision in myself to disconnect from them this year. So now I'm at a point where I don't care. And I'm going to speak, as Charlie said, truth to error. Scientology is the error in my eyes when it comes to that element and that aspect. So I'm going to speak truth to that. Oh, Jesus. Honestly, didn't expect that. Like I said, though, it's been a week. It's been a week and people are still feeling it. I mean, I think the closest thing I've ever had to this was Kobe. But the thing is with Kobe is it was tragic and it was unintentional, obviously, which makes it different from this. We obviously didn't see how horrific it was as well. But it was tragic. Kobe meant a lot. Do you think the NBA would sort of be as quite as woke as it's been and stuff like that, and Black Lives if Kobe was around? I don't know. And it makes you think about like the result of Charlie not being with us anymore and what could happen 30 years down the track and what it would have been if Charlie was here 30 years down the track. It's hard to come to grips with that, right? But Kobe with the daughter as well, is it Gigi? And feeling for Vanessa Bryant and stuff like that. Like, that's the closest I've ever felt to what I'm feeling now. But this is so much bigger than that. It's had a bigger and more profound effect on me personally. But it's also like, yeah, I saw people here in Australia mourning Kobe and stuff like that. But again, this is a week out. And I don't think people are going to forget anytime soon. One thing that I didn't get a chance to bring up was TMZ. They're still protecting their employees, I'm telling you. And that ain't going to go away, and we shouldn't let it go away. We need to reveal the evil and deal with the evil that's out in this world. And the only way to do that is to speak truth to it, like Charlie said. Man, that was heavy. That was really heavy. I'm sorry. But thank you as well. I really appreciate it. I would like to end on like a bit of a tribute to Charlie without like having to see any of the violence or anything like that. I've got one here. Hopefully it's good. I haven't watched it yet myself. But let's see. What can I end with? Well, first of all, rest in peace, Charlie. And God bless you and your family. My thoughts and prayers go out to Charlie's family, Erica, and the two children. To be honest with you, everybody in the world that this is affected, I'm giving you some love and I'm praying for you. I really am. So thank you, everyone, again. Hopefully next week, like I said, it would have been rude for me to completely ignore this and just go on with my normal scheduled programming, so to speak. Next week, hopefully we will still get back to a little bit of normalcy. But I think with how massive this is, there's probably going to be a bit more of this to still go over. So we will still make sure that we don't forget Charlie and we don't forget Irina either. We got to make sure that we sort of say that, guys, because Irina, even I started to forget about it. And I only just remembered today because of Anna's stream. I was watching a little bit of her before I started my stream. So we can't forget her and continue being like Charlie in your actions. Speak truth to error. Stand up for what you believe. Stay true to your own convictions. Be ethical. Be kind and considerate. But be strong. Be strong and powerful with that strength. And that's pretty much it. Thank you, guys. Again, thank you to everyone that did send those super chats. Basically, hang on. We did get another one. See, I'm so all over the place. I'm sorry. Mange? I don't even know how to say that. Truck Cappy Dave. We'll just say Truck Cappy. Thank you for the $2. Says, candles of the soul have been lit by his prayers. I couldn't, that's beautiful. Candles of his soul have been lit by his prayers. Candles of his soul have lit the candle in everybody else's soul. Anyway, thank you. Thank you for that super chat. I really appreciate that. You guys have been awesome. Thank you. We're not going to go out with we'll play the normal outro after we get this little thing from Charlie here. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next week. Catch you on Flashcast. If you are still here from Camelot stream, thank you. Please subscribe, smash the like button, all of that good stuff. I'd love to see you again next week. And God bless you all. Thank you. Let's bring this over and I'll get out of here. All right, guys, take care.
I remember driving around as a sophomore and a junior in high school listening to your radio program in the morning. I wasn't there when you gave the speech at the Lincoln Memorial, is that right? But I saw it. I remember saw it being simulcasted. Wow. And you said some very, I think, prophetic things there.
I know it. I have been looking for the next George Washington. I can't find him. He may be 8 years old, but this is the moment.
And now 18-year-old Charlie Kirk is saying enough is enough.
This is Charlie Kirk reporting from Marquette University. I like ideas. I don't like politicians. I don't like parties. I like principle.
Do not go quietly when truth is on the line.
I mean, democratic socialism, the people's it's socialism, which inherently means the following. It is immoral, it is evil, it is impractical when put in practice.
Do not surrender to the shadows.
But I'm here for the silent majority that is silent no longer, to give them the courage, confidence, and conviction to fight on campuses.
Even when, and especially if, you think the battle can no longer be won.
We're not going to allow the ruling class elites, the radical left, to continue to destroy this country from within. And we are a movement here that is growing by leaps and bounds.
Charlie Kirk lived that mandate.
And I believe that marriage is a beautiful thing. And I believe that having children is a moral good for society.
Biggest blessing.
Oh, without a doubt.
I don't think you know the impact. You say, oh, Glenn, you made an impact on my life. Do you realize the impact you're having on the country? Remember when I did the thing in Washington, D.C. and Restoring Honor?
I do.
And I said, somewhere in this crowd, maybe he's 7, maybe he's 15, somewhere in this crowd is the next George Washington.
Years from now, he will come not to this stair, but to those stairs.
We want to overemphasize grace when in reality, Christ loves us too much to have us continue to live in sin. He wants us to try to elevate our actions to glorify God in all that we do.
And he can proclaim, I have a new dream.
I just went to church for the first time in several years.
Today we went to church for the first time in a really long time. I've never ever opened the Bible before, and something was calling me to my husband's Bible.
Here's the line for the second service, and there's never a line.
Jesus of Nazareth, and the resurrection is the pinpoint of my belief that Jesus did rise from the grave so that we may live.
The light is dimming, yes, but it always does before the dawn.
I don't know if you like that or not. I've just got to get this, obviously, before I go. Soul123, thank you for the $20. Love you, bro. Glad you streamed tonight. Keep up the great work. Also fun seeing you in Yellow Flash. What? It's also fun seeing you in Yellow Flash or on Flashcast, maybe. Thank you. And then I saw that you corrected that. Thank you for correcting that because I was spinning out there for a second. Your passionate language or speaking, as you say there, last Saturday was great. Thank you so much. I hope it was. I was a little bit shaken and I wasn't sure whether or not it was, I should have been embarrassed by it or not. But anyway. Thank you again. I'll just play the normal outro. I would have liked to have just left it on that, but we'll chuck this one up there. Thanks, guys. Again, we'll see you next week.
use that language there. Maybe we'll put the question next week. Sorry.
They came bounding over.
Fuck off! Disney! You fucking cunt!